gonna backtrack. And you should've kept my name out your mouth. Ask me though how it all turned out. When you try to use my name for clout, keep on going, give me something you can talk about. Hello everybody. The Lord said you had enough good hair days this month and just he did not help me out in any way this morning, girl. My hair was soaking wet whenever I was supposed to be going live. So anyway, I don't know. I'm blaming Diddy. Somehow it's his fault. Okay, anyway, so where are we? It's time to talk about David. I know I took like a whole poll and everything else. Yeah, it's 10:35 a.m. Thanks so much, Yasha. It's actually like I did a roller set, but like, when it don't dry all the way, it just tries to go back to its natural form, which is, I'm trying to stop with the negative self-talk, but let's just say not the most ideal. But anyway, okay. Okay. So yesterday I took a whole poll and I was like, do y'all want me to talk about David today? And y'all were like, yeah. But then what had happened was I got tired. So I'm here today to talk about the updates that I had from yesterday. And then now there's also more updates since yesterday. So yeah. Anyway, all right. So, oh my gosh, slay. And Yasha said, I work at Paul Mitchell, girl. I approve. Thank you so much. It took, extra 20 minutes of finagling, but I just have to, basically what you have to do, you just have to let it dry. You should let it get all the way dry and then you can mess with it. The more you mess with it, the worse it gets if it's not dry yet. So I'm gonna try, but I do have like a compulsion to touch it. Okay. Anyway. All right. So in no particular order, breaking news. It looks like they are now actually admitting to the public that this is a homicide. Remember like a few days ago, I don't even remember how long I've been covering this. Was it just this week we started with this? Let me cover up y'all's comments. I get too excited. Shout out to James giving it 10 That Surprise Witness memberships. Shout out to you. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, they do what they want. Exactly, Juliana. Mine, I have like on some parts of my hair, like on the underneath part, there's curls. On the top, it's like pretty much almost straight. And everything in between. Thank you so much to James for the 10 memberships. If you got a membership, make sure you shout out to James. Tell him thank you. Thank you, GLM, becoming a member. Okay, so remember a while back, days ago, maybe last week, whatever it was, whenever I was like being reported that the cops were saying they had not found any evidence of a crime. They're like, well, so far, there's no evidence that there was a crime committed. And I'm like, she chopped herself up and got in that trunk herself? What you mean? What exactly do you mean? So now it looks like they are actually calling it a homicide. Let me show you where I got that information. This is from the Reddit, the David 2 Reddit. The David 1 Reddit has been shut down. Or not shut down, but like locked, where I don't think anybody can actually comment on it anymore. This is from 18 hours ago. And it is a Reddit post. And then they link this abc.com article. So let's just go there. And again, y'all, this is in no particular order. I just started putting updates in this notes app thing. And then we're just clicking through the links as I got them in a row. Body of Celeste Rivas Hernandez, a teen found on a live in singer David's car, returned to family. Okay, so it's one of these articles where it's like her body was returned to the family. Hold on. I cannot stand that. Okay. But the article came out yesterday. All right. And the body of Celeste has been released to her family. The medical examiner confirmed that her body was released for the memorial services. Her body was found more than 2 weeks ago in the trunk of David, a singer, in his Tesla frunk, the front trunk. Body has been identified as teenager after LA police found her deceased in impounded Tesla. Last week, LAPD searched Hollywood Hills home where David was staying. The house is a short distance away from where the car was impounded and taken to a tow yard. David has since canceled the remainder of his tour. Okay, so this is the part I wanted to show y'all right here. When asked about it during an on-set interview Wednesday, so that was 2 days ago. So what on-set interview, what does that mean? I really don't know. LAPD Chief Jim McDonnell said he couldn't share much information about the ongoing investigation. This is a quote from the LAPD chief. He said, quote, "We have a lot of resources dedicated to bringing it to a conclusion, but to go beyond what's already been made public would be inappropriate. As for speculations that the singer might have had a relationship with Celeste, the teenager, the police chief gave another quote, whenever you investigate a homicide, the detectives look at all of the associated issues as well. In this case, that's something they would be looking at." Okay, so someone asked, were they in a relationship? The chief, this is the LAPD chief. Okay, if anybody knows, it's him. He said, whenever you investigate a homicide, the detectives look at all of the associated issues as well. In this case, that's something they would be looking at. And in this case, that would be the relationship. Were they in a relationship? Were they not? Now, we're going to get into an article, at least one, maybe more than one, later in the video where TMZ did come out and say that allegedly, according to their sources they're talking to, that David and Celeste were indeed and in fact in a relationship, and the friends of David thought Celeste was of age and thought she was David's, quote, girlfriend. Now, when we talk about that, I'll get into my opinions, like, for example, including how did everybody in the Discord know she was 14, but not his own personal friends? Very strange to me. But anyway, we'll talk about that when we get to it. The purpose of me telling you about this article and showing you this article is this right here. The police said, whenever you investigate a homicide, and as this Reddit user, DenseAd9869, oh my, did astutely point out, okay, so now it is being ruled as a homicide, even though it hasn't been announced or whatever. Like, they are investigating it as a homicide, which is obvious. I mean, anybody with a frontal lobe that kind of works a little bit would probably think they would be doing that. However, it was not actually explicitly even said that they were investigating it as a homicide. People were saying, well, she could have owed to the D. She could have, it could have been an accident. It could have been, whatever, a SUI, self-inflicted. But they're saying they're investigating it as a homicide. The chief of police, Jim McDonnell, did apparently say this in an on-set interview, whatever that is. Thank you so much, Work on Your Business, for the 59.99 euros. I like to say Euro for the German cousins in the chat. Ich bin Deutschlander. Ich bin ein Berliner. Anyway, you don't have to say ein. And let me not get into all that. Thank you for the 59.99. Thank you so much for reporting and staying on top of this. Love your honesty and moral compass. Greetings from Germany. Oh, you are from Germany. Slay. So I'm saying euros right, aren't I? Work on Your Business. Euro. 59. Fünf. Nine. How do you say 59? I forgot. Y'all be probably surprised to know I minored in German in college, but that was like 10 years ago, girl. I haven't spoken German in a while. Anyway, I have some I think you just never forget the insults and the curse words, because I could go off with them, but I don't want to get flagged. Thank you so much for that very generous super chat. Dankeschön für eine Super Chat. Für them. I don't know, girl. I don't know. I'm trying to do my German. Anyway, so Germany slay. I know exactly. It's cool. 59. 59. That's how you say that? Okay. I try to be well-rounded. The issue with learning languages, unfortunately, it is unfortunate, is that when you start learning one, the other ones you learn kind of like fade away from your grasp. Thank you so much, and Yasha, for the $20 super chat. I watch too much to not pay my dues. And James blessed me. Thank you so much for that $20 super chat. All right. So that was the first thing I wanted to tell y'all. At first, they were playing in our face saying that there was no evidence of a crime, even though it's pretty obvious that it's physically impossible. You can't chop yourself up and put yourself in a front trunk. Even if you could, even if she wasn't quote dismembered, I mean, I still think there's pretty much evidence of a crime. Isn't desecration or improper handling of a corpse a crime? I mean, I don't know. I don't know, girl. Okay, so we've talked a little bit about David and company and team and mods and etc. Maybe perhaps eliminating some things that might be considered like perhaps evidence. I have another thing to report along that vein here. This is another Reddit post, but it's citing, I believe, what's the name of that service? It's called Social Blade. So let me pull it up. Oh, wait, hold on. I got the wrong thing pulled up. Hold on. Oh, no, I don't. I got the right. Wait. Where's that? I lost this on my screen. I need another monitor. The time has come. If y'all could see the back end of this desk. Okay, I'm just going to remove this. I don't know what this is about. Goodbye. I can't find it. I'm blaming Diddy. Okay, here's number 2 thing I wanted to bring up to y'all and show y'all. So I posted this on, of course, the Reddit. Y'all need to be in the David 2 Reddit. That's where I get a lot of information. I would say like probably half the information I get comes from over here. But also from 18 hours ago, look at the title of this Reddit post. You all know that David deleted 6 videos from his YouTube channel the day they identified Celeste's body. That's not good. Also, let's go to the 8th. They don't put it on there. So this is Social Blade. I can actually go to Social Blade myself. Let me just do that so we're not like relying on a Reddit post. Although, I mean, I have found them to be fairly reliable. D4VD. Okay. D4VD. 2.3 million subscribers. Okay. It does appear to be accurate. The Reddit post appears, excuse me. The Reddit post appears to be accurate in depicting what's on Social Blade. Social Blade is a social media statistics tracking website. I almost never go on it. A lot of people that make videos, a lot of content creators are obsessed with it because you can track different things on it. But look, Celeste's identity was presented to the public, or they're saying on September 17th. Now remember, her body was found on the 8th of September, which was a day after what would have been her 15th birthday, which she unfortunately did not live to the age of 15. It's aggravating me that they keep reporting it as if she was 15. She didn't live to the age of 15. Anyway, but look right here, videos. He had 493 videos. This is weird. $499 videos. Okay, so on September 16th, he had 400. See the videos column? 499 videos. That was the 16th. One day later, 6 videos are deleted. See the -6, the -6, it's in red ink. And then now it's down to 493. Then on the 23rd, he deleted whoever has control of the account. We have to be very careful when talking about famous people and their social media accounts, because just because their name is on it does not even necessarily mean they even have the password. I don't know who has access to David's social media accounts. So that is why I'm not going to say David deleted it. That being said, definitely 7 videos have been taken down from the YouTube channel in the past 2 weeks. And one of them was a 6 video batch, all taken down on what's, reportedly the day. Admittedly, I did not go back and see exactly, what day they identified her remains as Celeste. I could do that if somebody else wants to go do that. Fact check me. I'm not really, this isn't like a deep dive investigation. This is kind of like a shallow investigation. I just want to show y'all some of the things that I found. So I thought this was interesting. It appears that 6 videos have been deleted. 7 videos have been deleted in the past couple weeks, but 6 were all deleted on this one day. What were those videos? I don't know. Hopefully somebody maybe way back machined it. These are like kind of more deep dive issues that hopefully, somebody can get into. That's not me right now. Okay. So that's still in the section that I started on this little notes bullet point list called cover up. So along that same vein, not that this is a cover up again. I'm trying to be very, very careful. I don't want to get sued for defamation. I also don't want to taint the jury pool, and also don't want to say stuff that I don't know for sure is true. So I don't know for sure, about really any of this. I never met these people. I don't know these people. It's a very serious thing to just blame somebody for these crimes. So I'm definitely not going to be doing that over here. Just showing y'all what I have found. But look at this Reddit post from 22 hours ago. Shot cartographer said, one of David's goons moving his stuff out of Hollywood Hills house. Okay. So I don't know, one of David's goons. I don't know who that could be, but like, as you could see, this person, I'll call him he has a mask covering pretty much his whole face. The eyes are there. He's wearing like reading glasses or like, vanity glasses. I don't know if they're like actual need them to see spectacles. And then he's wearing this baseball cap. You got to be careful getting caught up in the comments on Reddit. It's a trap, but I do like to look at the posts. One of David's goons moving his stuff. Okay, so as you can see, this was a screen, apparently, it appears to be a screenshot taken from a CBS News Los Angeles segment, the KCAL News, and it says at the top, I'm guessing what's apparently the title of whatever that video was. It says investigation continues as body of Lake Elsinore teen found in singer's car returned to family. Okay, so someone else there at the place. Now, this I also found was interesting because it does not appear to be that same guy, Josh Marshall. This guy looks a lot more beefier. This looks more like a bodyguard type of guy. Maybe, I don't know, might be his daddy. I don't know who this guy is, but it would be very difficult to really even tell based on what we're looking at. I mean, all we can see is glasses and a hat and muscles. So wanted to show y'all that there was someone over there taking stuff out of his home, but it had been previously reported the place that he was staying at, it had been previously reported that someone else was seen over there taking stuff out of that home, and that was Josh Marshall or whatever. Okay, this one right here, buckle up. Shout out 2,000 people in the chat. Make sure that y'all are not accidentally, inadvertently, against your own will, unsubscribed. I have noticed that has been happening from time to time lately. People have been getting unsubscribed, which makes my notifications for you and stuff not show up. But look at this, okay? This is a video from 2 weeks ago. This was just a couple of days after the body was found. Okay, this is from September 10th, 2025. The title is LA Police Investigating Human Remains Found Inside Impounded Tesla Registered to Singer David. Okay. This is not new, right? Like this is one of the first things we would have seen. There's been so many thousands of hours and miles of reporting since this has happened. But there's the Tesla. It's getting towed. They're investigating this before Celeste was identified or anything like that. Now, if you're following the story, you might recall. If you're not following the story, I will let you know. They meaning, mainstream media. Mainstream media has been reporting that some have been reporting there was no smell noticed. There was no odor noticed when the car was parked in that neighborhood. The odor got noticed once it was impounded at the tow lot. But then there's been other mainstream media sources, like including Ashley Banfield, who have said some neighbors did report smelling an odor, a foul odor coming out of this car whenever it was abandoned there on the street, but it wasn't noted to the people that the authorities or whatever that came to pick the car up and tow it or whatever. So it never got actually noted on the list. So there's been a little bit of a public disagreement on whether or not the car was stinking, whether or not the car was stinking when it was sat there parked. Now we're going to talk about some other stuff coming up here. It's going to turn into a little bit more of like an investigation vibe in a few more links once we get down a few more links. But I hold on, I forgot my train of thought. I get so distracted by y'all's comments. There's not enough vibe ants in the freaking world. Okay. It's a good thing though, in a way, because it's like I like your comments. I like what y'all are saying, but it's like I get so freaking distracted in the middle of a thought. Another whole thought starts up. But it's important about this body, about this odor for a few reasons. For me, you know how there's two sides of your brain? Like there's the left brain, there's the right brain. There's a left brain that's logical. Okay. There's a left brain, and that's responsible for like math and adding and reason and memories and pattern recognition and stuff like logical stuff is like kind of assigned to that half of your brain. And then the right brain is like, traditionally associated with like the feminine, right? There's the yin and the yang, and there's duality. Everybody has these two halves of our brain, and unless you don't, I guess, but most people do. So logically, I gotta admit, it don't look good for David. Okay. Looking at all the evidence that we have, looking at all of the things that have come out, looking at his past, looking at what kind of person he seemed to be, looking at the type of art he made, looking at the type of art he enjoyed, looking at the pictures of them together, looking at the fact she's a runaway. I mean, everything we've really gone over has really all pointed in one direction. And maybe David had accomplices, but logically, I feel like, okay, open and shut. But then there's that pesky other half of my brain that's like, but something just feels like there's something else more. There's something else more. There's something else more unexplained or unspoken. I'm not going to be going so far as to say it seems like, it feels like a setup vibe. I'm not going to go that far. But I do keep remembering back to this Tory Lanez case. And at first, it was just all signs pointed to him. Everyone was in agreement. Oh, hey, open and shut. He did it. At the end, it's over. But then when you really start looking at the evidence, it's like, no. The stuff that y'all are saying there's evidence for, there isn't. There's not evidence. There was stuff that was hidden. There was Brady material withheld. This is Hollywood. And then in the Tory Lanez case, the speculation is that Rock Nation had offered him. Rock Nation, right? A big music label. Remember, that's the world we're in right here. This is speculation I just heard, okay? I'm not the expert. I wasn't there. Don't sue me. If you do, you'll lose, because I do these freaking exhaustive disclaimers, okay? And it is true. It is true that I really don't know. But what the rumor is, and it's believable to me, in my opinion, which I'm allowed to have still in the United States of America, that Tory Lanez was just super talented. His record contract or whatever with the first one he did was about to be up, or was up. It was up for renegotiation, and Rock Nation wanted him. That's what's being told to the public. And because Rock Nation wanted him, they started courting him, and then he said, no, I don't want anything to do with y'all. I don't want to come to do a meeting with y'all. I don't want to be on your record label. And then all of a sudden he's apparently, looks like, maybe possibly set up. Now, very importantly, he was found guilty. All right. He was found guilty. The case is on appeal. So under the law, he's guilty. All right. But something don't sit right with me about that case either. I've cried. I have cried over that case. I didn't even know a Tory Lanez song. I couldn't name one right now. I could not name you a Tory Lanez song. I did not even really care for his music. When I heard a song the other day, I liked it. Oh, one song I can name. Everyone falls in love sometime. Everyone falls in love. Ain't that his song? Maybe I got it wrong. So there's this like part of my brain that's like, could it be like, I'm always looking for the loopholes. I'm always looking for the cracks in the argument. Okay. Like even with the left brain, I'm looking for how could it be? Okay. So that car sat there for 2 days in the tow lot, right? 2 days. 2 days the car sat there. And it was after those 2 days that somebody started smelling some odor. and they called the cops because of the odor. Now, interestingly, this is a cops tow lot. Like LAPD has control over the tow lot. So really the cops had it the whole time. That being said, oh, he remixed it. So that wasn't in his, see, he remixed it, but thank you for letting me know. Jay-Z is Rock Nation. Yeah. Rock Nation is owned by Jay-Z and Live Nation, I think. It's not really his song. Okay, got it. Thank you for letting me know. So see, I can't even name a Tory Lanez song. So there you go. That being said, this thing sat here 2 days and then it started, and then the cops came. So I'm like, all right, who had access to the tow lot? Is it possible there was no body in that front trunk? Is it possible, based on the evidence that we as the public have, that there was no body in the trunk? But once the car got towed, the body got put in the trunk. I guess it has to be possible because we don't really know. Now, some people are going to say, no, he did it. Open and shut. He did it. He put her in the trunk. He thought he could. Yeah, see, Cece saying, nope, it's not possible. It's not possible. But them fingerprints sure did disappear from the Kid Cudi break-in within 1 year. And who did that? LAPD. So we do know that LAPD has a history of handling things in an unconventional way that you wouldn't expect. All right. It's possible. Exactly. Thank you, Christine, because what we're talking about here is logical constructions. I'm not asking you to believe. I'm not asking you, do you believe? I'm asking you, is it impossible? Is it impossible that when that car came onto that lot, there was no body in there? It's the same. That's the same question. Put another way, is it possible that the body was put in the trunk once it was at the tow lot? Possible. It would be out of the ordinary. It would be unusual, unorthodox, but I guess it's possible. It's not impossible. Again, y'all, I already told y'all. The logic part of my brain is all pointing to David, but there's still not like definitive evidence he did it. There's not definitive evidence for us to the public, right? And he might have. I'm open to it. I mean, that logically, that's the most logical thing. It's like he did it at the end. That being said, put together with the fact he was about to have an album would be out right now. His next album would be out right now, but they stopped it from coming out. It's not coming out. He posted on Instagram. He wrote the whole album. He wrote the whole thing. Is it possible that anyone has a motive to set him up? Is it possible Celeste unalived her own self? Is it possible someone walked in, found her, knew all of these things? I don't think this is what happened. I want to be very clear that y'all are taking me for literally what I am saying. Logically, everything's pointing to David, okay? Legally, David is innocent until proven guilty. But for me, I'm kind of always just going back and forth, right? I'm back and forth. Could he be being set up? Because he was about to come take the industry, but people like him. He was about to take the industry by storm. Could he have been set up, given a dose of CIA PCP, who knows, by Corey Handler Gamble or a Harley Pasternak that made him flash out kills? I don't know. What I know for sure is there's some nasty and wicked stuff that goes on over there in Hollywood that I don't want any part of. And all we can do is guess. Is it possible something happened with one of her family members? Is it possible David was on tour and Celeste was at her own family home? Her brother, her mother, her uncle, her stepdaddy from 10 years ago. Is it possible something happened over there? And like, we're going to blame it on this kid because everyone's going to believe it. He should have never been with her anyway. Could it be that she got a new boyfriend and somebody found out? I mean, these are all things that pass through my mind. Okay. And so one thing for me that would help is to know exactly if there was a body in that car on the street or if the body got put in the car in the 2 full days it sat in that impound lot. It's ambiguous whether or not anybody smelled anything while it was sitting over there. It was reported some people did. It was reported some people didn't. Well, guess what? Guess what? Thank you, Diddy Docket. I don't know if the Diddy Docket is in here. Oh my gosh. Shout out. Illyri said she's a former police detective. We got the fuzz in the chat. Y'all know I'm just kidding. Former police detective. And I have some thoughts that I'm putting together based off of the formal documents we have in my personal knowledge. Something's not right. Now, one thing that I'm pretty much like my left and my right brain are agreeing on one thing for sure. This was a group. Multiple people know what happened. Perhaps multiple people participated in what happened. More than one person knows. In my mind, I see a group. It's a group. In my left brain, I see a group. The kid couldn't even rent his own apartment. Hello. He didn't even have his own name on his own lease. I don't think he was out here making too many decisions and going too many places by himself. No, I don't. No, I don't. So thank you to Diddy Docket. Shout out to Down the Rabbit Hole News in the chat. She's been doing excellent coverage on this case. She had 2,600 people in her chat yesterday. I was so excited. Celestial Essence said, I think it's kind of weird how all this stuff is happening right after the Lil Nas stuff. David kind of looks like him, in my opinion. I don't think they look that much alike, but I do think they both from Texas. And so is Megan Thee Stallion. Houston. Maybe he's not from Texas. Maybe from Maryland or something. Actually, now I don't remember if Lil Nas X is from Texas. Maybe I'm just misremembering because he always wears that cowboy hat. Okay, without further ado, we have some evidence right here. And this is, again, this is not after the fact evidence. Well, it is. It is after the fact technically. But this isn't just coming out. This is from 2 weeks ago. Somebody is going to talk about the smell in the neighborhood. Thank God we got some clarity here.
The LAPD took possession of this Tesla after human remains were found inside the car at Hollywood Tow. But this deadly discovery may be connected to the 1400 block of Bluebird Avenue in the Hollywood Hills.
Just smelled like sewage. We all thought it was sewage.
A neighbor who asked us not to share her identity.
It smelled like sewage. We all thought it was sewage. Who is we? Who is all? You know, the cops have already, questioned these people and stuff if they're telling the truth, which I do say that stuff. I don't want y'all to think I'm like full on schizophrenic. Like when I say these things, it's because it's literally possible people could be lying. And I want to leave open the possibility for everything. I don't believe that some lady just stood on the side of the street and just lied, but sometimes people do. Like, remember that George Zinn screaming, I shot him, when he maybe wasn't the one that shot him and all that. So I don't think she's lying. I think she's telling the truth. She said, the neighbors, we all thought it was sewage. This is a very, very affluent area. His house cost $20,000 a month in rent. Listen what she says. We all thought it was sewage.
100 block of Bluebird Avenue in the Hollywood Hills.
Just smelled like sewage. We all thought it was sewage.
A neighbor who asked us not to share her identity says the dark-colored Tesla with Texas plates was abandoned on the street all summer long.
I think the community knew something was wrong and reported the car being abandoned.
The car was towed to this yard where the LAPD...
Again, I just want to be very clear. I'm not saying I think she's lying about the smell. Okay. I am saying she could be. Why would she lie about a smell? The answer to that question, Miss North's Musings, is why would anybody lie about anything? They got people that just lie. Why would Megan Thee Stallion lie and say that she wasn't shot and then change her story and say she was shot? I mean, I don't know. I'm not like, if I'm lying, it's like life or death. Or I'm like pranking somebody and it's something innocent. I'm about to do a surprise party or something. Other than those two reasons, like it's not my natural predisposition, just lie. I like to be truthful. And that's why you get all of these disclaimers and qualifications from me, because I don't want what I say to be taken in a way that I'm not saying it. So when I say she could be lying, I'm not saying this bitch lying. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the truth. I don't know what happened. I didn't smell the car. I still to this day ain't smelled it. I don't think I've ever smelled a dead body. Like, they say you smell the body and you can smell. I never had anything like that. Could be people get paid off. People lie for money. Now a big reason Miss North's musings, and I want to keep reiterating this, and I'm going to keep beating y'all over the head rhetorically with it until it sinks in. Kids are being groomed and extorted and blackmailed online. Adults are also being groomed and extorted and blackmailed online. They are getting children to send them pictures of things I'm not even at liberty to say, but let's just say illegal pictures and videos, doing things to their own selves, doing things to their siblings. And then these monsters, death cults online, one of them's called 764, but they have many names. They will then have the children do crimes. And if the children don't do the crimes, then they say, well, I'm going to release these pictures on the internet. I'm going to send these pictures to the cops. I'm going to send these pictures to your mom, et cetera, et cetera. So that's one reason to lie. Now, I'm not saying this lady was groomed online. I mean, again, I have no idea. I think in my left brain, the lady's probably telling the truth. Probably stank. Probably is the reason it got towed, because that car was sitting on that road all summer long. The car, I went on Google Maps yesterday or the day before yesterday to find this house. And on certain pictures of the Google Maps, the Tesla is parked outside. The interesting thing is there's a 3-car garage. I'm going to repeat that one more time. There's a 3-car garage. This is weird. This is weird. If David unalives anyone, he's going on tour and there's a dead body in his trunk. He has a 3-car garage. I mean, he might be stupid, but that's stupid? True Crime Tarot, shout out to you. I've heard of crisis actors. I didn't really want to go down that road in this particular video because already, trying to avoid like the allegations. But like, yeah, I mean, there are crisis actors. There are also crisis actors. Those exist. I won't get into specifics about when they are employed. I will say the New York Times has exposed that when the Free Britney movement started, that there were private intelligence agents infiltrating the movement at the first rally ever. The New York Times said that. Okay, so I'll say that's a good example of a crisis actor. Whenever they were trying to pass the Free Britney Act and they had all those fake protesters and fake activists at the steps of the Washington Monument or whatever for Free Britney America, there was like all these fake protesters. They were not a part of the Free Britney movement. No one ever saw them before. No one ever saw them again in the movement. They just were trying to pass a law so they can you can hire any crackhead to stand there with a sign. Any college kid will stand there for $20 an hour. Look what they were doing at the Diddy. At the Diddy trial, they were offering $20 an hour to stand there with the Frico Not a Rico shirt. So I'm not saying and I don't my purpose for going through all these theories is not to spread misinformation or spread conspiracy theories. Actually, my purpose for telling y'all these different possibilities that come to my mind is to keep us from spreading misinformation, to think about how maybe there are at this point, from what we know about the case, maybe there is some possible way David did not murder this girl. And there is. We don't have enough information to go out there and say for sure that for sure he did it and you wasn't there as an eyewitness. You are spreading misinformation. So I'm not saying, run out of here, run out of this chat and go tell everybody this lady is a lying crisis actor. Actually, I believe her. But if that's true, Reese Evans, thank you so much for this context. She says, I'm from Southern California and familiar with this area. Yes, it would make sense to put the car in the garage. But Some of these older homes, the garages are too small for the newer cars. And this is a newer car, and it does appear to be one of these old Hollywood type of homes. Anyway, okay, so let's watch the rest of the video. He has not been formally charged yet. Nope. You have to look at every single possibility because to me, I don't know about y'all. I think it's probably the case for most of y'all too. For me, what's really important is figuring out what actually happened. What actually happened. Not just putting it on somebody, but figuring out what actually happened. And it could be the case. Actually, David got rid of her. Could be, but I don't know. Okay. Let's watch the rest of this video and see if we get any more information. I think that was the most telling thing, but this neighbor does say some more stuff.
It's not like sewage. We all thought it was sewage.
A neighbor who asked us not to share her identity says the dark-colored Tesla with Texas plates was abandoned on the street all summer long.
I think the community knew something was wrong and reported the car being abandoned.
The car was towed to this yard where the LAPD was called to investigate on Monday because of a strong smell as well. Detectives served a search warrant and found human remains. From SkyCal, we could see the front trunk was open, but investigators aren't saying where they found the remains. Jessica Colella lives nearby.
Knowing that it happened like right here next to me is really scary. And also, again, just like heartbreaking for whoever the victim is.
Several people who work near the tow yard told us they picked up a strong smell in recent days. But Bridget Foster and her coworker were not.
People who work near the tow yard. People who even work near it were smelling it for days. This is also reminding me of that woman who, remember my zombie video on BJ Investigates? The two women who were driving around with 2 baby remains in their trunk. And it was just in there for like, one of them was in there for like 18 months. And it was like decomposed remains in the trunk. They were driving around, go and turn TRICKS and everything else.
Of anything odd.
Just shock about how something like that can happen so close by.
Both TMZ and the LA Times report the Tesla belongs to recording artist David, whose legal name is David Anthony Burke. Both outlets report he's alive and well and scheduled to perform in Minneapolis Tuesday night. His schedule also includes a concert in Los Angeles on September 20th. Both at the tow yard and
There's
the
the
Hollywood
Tesla.
Hills, neighbors say the deadly discovery is a reminder to be present for your community.
You live in a city where sometimes people do need help and need to be looked out for. And so I think kind of coming together and kind of noticing things more, not really being so quick to turn ahead.
If something looks strange, definitely say something and don't wait.
That's all fine and good, and I see where they're coming from and stuff, but, like, as someone who routinely tries to report stuff to the police and they just don't do anything, it's discouraging because you can report something all day long. Like this Woe Vicky situation, right? A lot of people have been asking me for an update on Woe Vicky. I strongly believe she was trafficked to Nigeria. I strongly believe that. For bribe money, and Nigeria is just happenstance. It happens everywhere. I'm not trying to be like, oh, it's Nigeria. Yeah, in this case, it was some people from over there. But she has come out, publicly said she's not trafficked. She's not being held against her will. I made 2 videos about it. And she's saying she's not trafficked. She's not being held against her will. Leave her alone. Okay, fine. That's all I can do. We can make videos till we're blue in the face and then what? Get sued for defamation. The actual freaking authorities need to do something. It's actually insulting and a little bit heartbreaking to see these like 3 or 4 different young women right around my age. Maybe I'm older than them. They look to be probably in their 20s. These young women walking around like, oh my God, this could have been me. This is crazy. That's who they're interviewing. These 3 or 4 young women we just saw. And all of them are like, yeah, we gotta help our communities more, whatever. No, if somebody did call. Celeste Rivas Hernandez was reported missing 3 freaking times last year. People were seeing things and were saying things and nothing was done. One of those twins told the Tulsa, Oklahoma Police Department that her own mother was sex trafficking her. And She's the one that got took away in handcuffs. The mom sat right there on the couch and stayed at the house. So when's it going to be time for these deadbeat cops to start doing freaking something? When is Tulsa, Oklahoma going to actually investigate that allegation of sex trafficking? Because I've been sued over trying to tell the authorities. I got sued for trying to further amplify this girl saying, I don't trust cops. I've been trying to get y'all to do something for 2.5 freaking years. I don't trust you and I don't want to talk to you. She got took in handcuffs and then I got sued for telling y'all that public information. Not once, not twice, not 3 times, but about 4 different freaking times. These lunatics have tried to stop me from sharing this information. So no, it isn't just a little, oh, let's look out. Let's look out for our communities. I'm trying to look out for my community. And the only thing I have to show for it is about $1 million freaking dollars in legal bills. And I'll keep winning too. Bitch. Is. Anyway, back to David. Okay, so it was speculated what grade was Celeste in. We do have some new reporting as of yesterday to give us a little bit of clarity on that issue. People Magazine is reporting, again, yesterday, Celeste went missing 3 times in 2024 alone. Police seized electronics from her home, from the home tied to David, which that part we already knew. Hold on, let me turn on reader view. I hate these stupid ads. The teenage girl was found, More questions are emerging as authorities continue to investigate the death of Celeste, who was found in the trunk. A new Los Angeles Times report says Rivas was reported missing at least 3 times in 2024 out of Lake Elsinore, California. The teenage girl's cause and manner of death remain under investigation, and the musician, David, has not been named as a suspect. Not been named. As homicide detectives continue to investigate the circumstances surrounding the death, more questions are emerging. Days after the September 8th discovery at an impound lot, the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner identified the remains of the 15-year-old girl. Her cause and manner of death remain under investigation. Officers responded to the scene after a foul odor was reported coming from the vehicle reportedly registered to the 20-year-old singer, whose real name is David Anthony Burke. The Riverside County Sheriff's Office. Now, they are really good at effing up an investigation and doing absolutely nothing because still no word on the Emmanuel Harrow investigation. But anyway, they got time to comment on this, I guess. They confirmed to NBC News that Rivas had been reported missing in 2024 out of Lake Elsinore, California. She was remembered by loved ones on a GoFundMe campaign as a beloved daughter, sister, cousin, and friend. According to a new report from the LA Times, the sheriff's office and said Rivas had been reported missing at least 3 times that year, and residents claimed she had run away from home before, though her last known whereabouts remain unclear. There's David, there's Celeste. The singer has not been named as a suspect, but an LAPD spokesperson told People Magazine on September 18th, so this is like, a week or more than a week ago, that detectives served a search warrant at a local address in connection with the girl's death. The address was where the singer had been staying. We knew that. Police spokesperson added that several items of evidence were recovered and investigators are following up on several leads. Now, again, I'm in here before it's old news. There's my prediction. It's a group. It's a gang. It's a cult. It's a mob. It's a group. It's a mafia. It's a group. It is a group. It is a group. The fact that David has not been arrested tells me that he might be ratting out the group. I don't know. It might just be because he hired Blair Burke. I don't know. According to the LA Times, law enforcement sources said that the items seized from the rental home include electronics and computers. Now, importantly, I said, I think this kid is a Scientologist. I think David is a Scientologist. I've said it. I have no like real reason. That's one of those right brain things. But it's interesting that Danny Masterson's lawyer is going to be representing him, isn't it? You think Scientology just lets any and everybody represent Danny Masterson? Same law firm. I am a lawyer. Am, but I don't practice. I'm not licensed to practice. I did take the bar. I did become licensed, and then I promptly gave it back because I would rather make these videos and not worry about having to go up in front of bar. Like I said, all I did was simply tell y'all some public information. Somebody reported her own mother as a sex trafficker. I got sued like 4 times for that. Okay. So I'm not trying to be fighting with nobody over, oh, I want to please, daddy bar, let me be in your stupid little club. No, fuck y'all and your dumb shit. Okay. I don't want to be in your stupid club. Actually, you should have been thanking me and paying me just for being able to say you could associate with me. So no, I'm not. No, y'all can do that. I'm not licensed, but I am a lawyer. I have a Juris Doctorate. Anyway, a rep for the singer previously told NBC Los Angeles that he had been informed about what's happened, is fully cooperating with the authorities, but apparently he's done stopped doing that. Investigators have not shared any information on whether David and Rivas had any connection. However, the medical examiner identified her as having a tattoo that read "shh" on her right index finger. Meanwhile, a photo of David from September 2024 shows him having the "shh" tattoo. The singer has earned acclaim for these songs. He was on tour at the time of the discovery. So the reason I wanted to show y'all that article, it was citing this article. Okay. So I wanted to show y'all this one. This is a new article coming from LA Times. Mystery deepens into Celeste's death as authorities release her body. Celeste, front trunk, tow yard, medical examiner. How her body wound up in the trunk of a multi-platinum musician's vehicle while he was in the middle of a world tour remains a mystery, and has thrown into question the remaining tour dates and fueled rumors about his potential relationship with the girl who was reported missing last year. What we know: Celeste's body was found on September 8th. The cause of death has not been released. I did order, just so y'all know, I did order the coroner's report, but I did not get it yet. And they may not send it to me until the whole thing's done. Who knows when I'll get it. Celeste's body was found, complaints of a foul odor. The vehicle is registered to David. The Tesla was parked at the Hollywood Hills tow lot near his home. National tour. He was going to go on the European leg. They're all canceled since the discovery. Photos of them have emerged. Their online interactions have been scrutinized. Celeste grew up in Lake Elsinore. What we don't know. Hold on. Where is the 7th grade thing, girl? Did they already change it? Yeah, here. She grew up in Lake Elsinore, about 76 miles from Hollywood, where the Tesla was parked before it was towed. She was in the 7th grade. And her family reported her missing at least 3 times in 2024. Now, was in the 7th grade last year or was in the 7th grade this year? And it seems like they mean she was in the 7th grade at the time she went missing. I don't know. It certainly does. I'm not going to even get into this, S. Gastino, but just if you know, you know, and I completely, entirely agree. And actually, in fact, and indeed, in my mind, I can even see it. I was 13 years old in the 9th grade. I turned 14 in 9th grade. My birthday's September 4th. Her birthday is September 8th. Let's assume she got held back a year, okay? Because that's the only way that it would work. Because if I'm in, like she shouldn't be in 7th grade at 13 if I was in 7th grade, if I was in 9th grade at 13. So she must have got held back a year. But then that still leaves some room. Like, did she get held back? Did she fail? Was she in 7th grade last year? I don't know. It just said she was in 7th grade, but she wasn't in school. So how could she be in 7th grade? I really don't know. I just wanted to show that to y'all. Scientologists and Mormons both want to keep everything within the church. So I bet his lawyer is a Scientologist, if that's true. And that would mean he is one. SRA, y'all gonna have to look it up. What I will say is What I'm allowed to say is there is an declassified FBI report on this from the early 90s. I believe it was 1992, 1993. If you can find that, it's FBI, declassified FBI. If you can find that. Okay. Maybe that's her highest completed grade. Next, I was 13 and a freshman in high school as well. I started college at 17. All right. So from that LA Times article, there were two things I wanted to point out. It was the 7th grade thing, and also that the cops did seize multiple electronics and computers. Okay. So now we have another article. This one is from E! Online, I believe also yesterday. Yep. Yesterday as well. And this is citing a source, a law enforcement source who is, quote, not authorized to speak publicly on the issue. And yet he did just that. What police seized from home allegedly tied to David amid Celeste Rivas Hernandez death investigation. After Celeste's remains were found in an abandoned Tesla registered to musician David, police searched the Hollywood Hills home he had allegedly been staying at. David first began his career as a streamer playing Fortnite. Okay, he began his career as a gamer. Okay, he was doing gaming. He was playing Fortnite and other games in an attempt to do what? He wanted to go viral. He wants to go viral on YouTube. Doesn't every kid want that? He ran into copyright infringement challenges with the music he was adding to his videos in 2021, and he turned to his mom. Quote, I'm crying to my mom about it. He told usual suspect Benny Blanco with the nose hairs. He told Benny Blanco that he was crying to his mom about it. Said this back in September. I'm like, yo, I don't know what to do. I'm not making any money anymore. Blah, blah, blah. She was on the phone and she was like, just make your own music. Go, get out of my face. Just make your own song, stupid. Wait a minute. He's like, I could probably do that. From there, despite not having any musical experience other than singing for fun, David downloaded an app on his phone and started making music. Now, I think this is a little bit of a misnomer. Like, the child grew up in a Pentecostal church. And if you know anything about these evangelical churches, they sang, okay? They sing, all right? He's got this white pastor. I know they sang in the house down at that church, all right? They sang. It's not sing. It's not, they sang, okay? It's like they sing, all right? So to say he had no musical experience at all is a little bit of a misnomer, because I do think he was playing in the church band and stuff. I got that from the documentary, the David documentary, the little mini documentary he made. Anyway, from there, despite not having any musical experience other than singing for fun, David downloaded an app on his phone and started making music. Soon, some of his songs went viral, and after more of his original music started to go viral on TikTok, his career began to really kick off. The 20-year-old eventually released his debut album, Withered, in April 2025, embarking on his first world tour shortly thereafter. And he was fitting to put out his second album already. These are patterns I just can't ignore. He was about to put out his second album. Cardi B been about to put out her second album for 5 years. Why is it always this second album they put in the holdup? Cassie never put out a second album. They hold that second album right over your freaking head. Just things to think about. So did they take out the thing of the not authorized to speak? Hold on. They took it out. This article has been changed. There was somebody who had commented on this E! Online article, and they were like, a law enforcement official who's not authorized. I'm going to have to start taking screenshots each day that I do my research. Now, someone might have saved it on the way back. Okay, California is not like Louisiana, girl. Okay. BJ, you can be 13 years old in 7th grade. Schools in California have age requirements to enter kindergarten. Some kids will end up being older. They do have the age requirements as well in Louisiana, but it might be like, instead of November, I think it's September or something, or it was in 1990. This is a really good question. Quantum VP, why isn't he a suspect though? I mean, I wish I knew. When they tell us, we'll all know. Thank you for the $4.99. I don't know why he's not a suspect or even a person of interest. Thank you, Ken, for the $4.99 super chat. Good morning, cousin. Did you see the blind item about David? No, somebody sent it to me. I did not. Thank you for the $4.99. Thank you for the $4.99 active LA. Good morning, BJ. This case has me all messed up. Keep it up with the good content. Thank you. Thank you, Lauren, for the $2 super sticker. Thank you, Amanda, for the $4.99. Him going on tour was a problem if they were still together. She's alone. Where did she go and with who? Period. What about that lady that sued Steven Tyler because she was pregnant? She was his teenage concubine. He had basically adopted her or gotten a guardianship over her or something. And she got pregnant, and then there was just this mysterious house fire, and she could have died. He was on tour at the time. Anyway, there's a deep dive on that if y'all want to check that out. Thank you for the $4.99. Thank you, mi corazón de cazador. Oh, girl, I was saying corazón. Mi cazador de ideas. Obviously, I am like a Spanish professor, girl, or Portuguese or whatever this is. They had big dance arcade games in garage videos. There was nowhere to park the Tesla, is what you're saying. They had the garage full. Okay, thank you for the $1.99 and for that information. Thank you, Christian, for the $9.99 super chat. So glad you're exploring all possibilities because I've seen too many jump to conclusions based on some findings on social media creators. I said from the beginning, he may not have unalived her. And that's another good point as well, Christian. Like, he may not have unalived her. He could still know who did. He could have still been there. He could have still all that. Maybe he doesn't even know also. But there's just so many different possibilities. Thank you for that $9.99. Thank you so much, Kimmy Wells, for the $49.99 super chat. It only takes one voice to make a change. Aw, your hard work, dedication, and authenticity is high five. Anyway, I'm sitting on a story, a former investigative journalist that I noticed you also covered in the web. How can I connect with you? I tried Insta. Email. Email ThatSurpriseWitness@gmail.com. All one word. It's down below too. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that $49.99 as well. Thank you to Mango for the $1.99 super chat. Please look into the Buffalo Bayou Butcher in Houston. I'm scared to look into it because I feel like it's going to wrap back into this case and the Lil Nas case and the Meg Thee Stallion case. Like, everybody from Houston fitting to get wrapped into this thing if I start looking. Thank you for the $1.99. Okay. So someone did save this on Wayback. Let me see if I can find the part that I saved this article to show y'all for this exact reason, and then they took out the part that I wanted to show y'all. The part I wanted to show y'all is that it said it was like new details were emerging from a law enforcement official, quote, not authorized to speak. And I put it in quotes. Let me see if. Yeah, look at this. Look how crazy they try to make us feel. I'm not saying they're trying to make us feel crazy, but like, it'll make you feel crazy because these articles say stuff and we all believe it. And then it gets deleted. Look, this is the article right now. Okay. What police seized from home. This is on eonline.com. I copied the link right from there. Oh, now it says it. Now it says it, bitch. Law enforcement sources with knowledge of the case not authorized to speak publicly told the outlet that investigators recovered various items. Law enforcement sources not authorized to speak, but they speaking on it. So they're out here telling. Yeah, I gotta cover that Ray J. I need to make a pre-recorded video on the Ray J Rico, the Kardashian Rico too. Ray J is saying that they're gonna do a Rico on the Kardashians, and I'm on the edge of my seat for 5 years for that. Was that 600 million gonna come up? Did you see it, Lil Nikki? When y'all saw that, right? I'm glad it was all on live because y'all saw me do Control F AUTH, right? And it was like nothing found. And now it's right there. Now it has that, like, I'm glad it was on live because y'all just saw it. All right. Anyway, so let's move to the next thing I wanted to show y'all in these updates. Now, TMZ is teasing that they have some information. All right. They're teasing that they have some information, but they can't say it yet. Deja, this is a great question. One I don't know the answer to. It's possible. Is it possible that he trusted someone to take her back to California for the remainder of his tour because she was too young to go out of the country for the rest of his tour? And the person could have done it? That's such a good question. Is it possible that she was kind of on the tour, but then he was about to go on the international leg of the tour? It's like they watching live. That would be so funny. Shout out to them. Shout out to the fuzz in the chat. She was registered for school, but she just didn't attend. Okay, interesting. Thanks so much to Smashing Mayorgan. Love your commentary, listening to you at work. Keep up the great work. Finding the facts. Thank you so much for that $10 super chat. Thanks so much, Caroline, for the 20 SEK. Where does it say that he doesn't cooperate anymore? That was on the live that I wanted to do. That was on the live that I did a couple days ago. It was from TMZ that said that. TMZ said it. Let me see if I can find that quickly. Because we are about to talk about TMZ saying stuff anyway. So let me see. Yeah, it was this right here. Okay, I did find it.
Of course, because I looked at it as if you have nothing to hide.
That's her in my
He wanted to tell his students to be wary on social media.
So there's a lot more to talk about. So we told you there was a search of the home that he appeared to have been staying in the Hollywood Hills. So we now find out that they were testing for blood. There's something called luminol, which can light up a floor.
Everyone's seen this on CSI.
Yeah.
That they spray it and it, allows them to see where, if there are traces of blood, even if it's been cleaned up.
So they were looking, on the floors. They were looking in drains to see if there were any traces of blood. We don't know what the results of the search were, but it's significant because the Tesla that contained her body in the trunk was parked nearby. And so it seems like they're...
I think it's coming up. I think it's like in the next few seconds. I don't exactly know where it is, but it's around this part.
King theory is she might have been killed
if she were
in the house.
killed or dismembered in the house and then placed in that car and parked, a block and a half away.
Right, and we should
again.
the police.
Just real quick, I didn't come over here for this reason, but y'all just heard this man say dismembered, right? They're trying to blame it on social media bloggers. No, these people at TMZ knew Celeste's identity before the cops. They helped the cops figure out who Celeste is. They helped the cops identify the body. They were in touch with her mother before the police. Are you listening? This, in this case, is a credible source. It has to be. They knew who it was before the cops. They are saying dismembered. They have been saying it. It infuriates me to be gaslit.
Their working theory is she might have been killed
if she were
in the house.
killed or dismembered in the house and then placed in that car and parked, a block and a half away.
Right, and we should say that they...
Stop.
The police have not named a suspect yet. The police have not named a person of interest yet, but that doesn't mean they don't have one. They got a search warrant, which means they clearly were able to show a judge that there was probable cause to believe a crime was committed. But the police have been playing this really close to the vest.
We also don't know what David's cooperation has been with cops. We were told early on he was cooperating with cops, Now it seems kind of unclear, but it is kind of interesting because
Well, he's not talking to cops.
that's what we're hearing.
We now know.
So the question was, how do I know, or where did they say that he's no longer cooperating with the cops? This is where I got that information. So I don't know if it's true or not, but I think, TMZ is much more credible source than me at this point, since they knew Celeste's identity before the cops. So this is where I got the information.
Has been with cops. We were told early on he was cooperating with cops.
Crime was committed, but the police have been playing this really close to the vest.
We also don't know what David's cooperation has been with cops. We were told early on he was cooperating with cops. Now it seems kind of unclear, but it is kind of interesting because
he's not talking to cops.
That's what we're hearing.
We now know. Well, we've got it on pretty good authority. He's not talking to police.
Which you think is maybe normal, what an attorney would say to their client.
Of course.
But I looked at it as, if you have nothing to hide, why would you not go to cops?
You don't look at it that way.
So I already did a whole analysis on that clip, but I did want to at least tell y'all, answer that question. So speaking of TMZ and their little clips and their little tips, somebody posted this on the Reddit yesterday, getting close to finding out what this call was about. I think we still don't know, but this was 21 hours ago, and they posted this. Stuff they already reported before. But look how giddy this little goblin gets. This giddy goblin.
Like I was rough.
Oh, okay. We are.
I know it's getting.
We have
right?
made contact.
I had body like Ed, like I was super skinny.
We're not ready to talk yet because I hope we're able to tell you before we put this up. I swear to God, though, if we don't, we're going to put this on the website as soon as we nail this down. And I'm not saying it cracks the case. I don't want to oversell, but I think it's just really interesting. Okay. No. I want to wait to see. It's 11:28.
Right.
I want to wait to see
I told you
if we get what I'm trying to get. And so why don't we, what blocks do we have left?
So I guess apparently, I don't know what that was about. He looks ill. He looks as though the demons have fully taken over. It's so true, Alicia. TMZ had more information, and the cops are not going to tell them crap. The LAPD seems to not be forthcoming about victims, and including to their families. Somebody asked earlier, I pinned the comment, wonder why he don't, the mama called TMZ and not the cops. That's a good question. Why would someone call TMZ and not the cops? That's a good question. Maybe to get a witness in it. Maybe to make sure a third party actually knows. Maybe not TMZ actually performing the function of an actual media, a First Amendment, free press function. Well, Mimi, I want to be very careful. I don't know that Scientology is involved in this case. I speculate it. Half the time I'm being a little bit hyperbolic and I'm kind of joking. I actually do think there is something to the Danny Masterson. Like, they're probably going to have a Scientologist representing him because his whole thing was like religious freedom, and Scientology even did have to like participate somewhat in his case. So I don't know for sure. I don't know. I don't have any knowledge that Scientology is involved in the case, but it's LAPD. I know LA is completely infiltrated by that clan. And, they also have strong ties to the Nation of Islam, which is another, scary group that and I'm not talking about Muslims, y'all. There's a different thing. There's a group of people over there. And they're they have protection rackets, allegedly, according to, the CIA and the FBI, if y'all want to read those declassified files. But it seems like LA is just a mafia. And it's a bunch of different mafias. And once you become a powerful enough mafia, then the other mafias just kind of have to work with you. I feel like Scientology is one of them. That's a feeling. Feelings are not defamation before you even try it, Blair Burke. What about Ashton Kutcher's girlfriend getting murdered the same night? He was picking her up and they blamed it on a random serial killer. That's interesting. That's interesting. It's so true, Amanda. I mean, I know it's aggravating. Amanda said people need to not take everything BJ says as if it's a fact. She should not have to say alleged and give disclaimers every 5 minutes. I mean, it feels like every 5 seconds. People need to use discernment and common sense. Agreed. Felicia said she heard TMZ said they reached out to the mom off the missing persons poster that she had up a while back. Interesting. Amalia, it's just a feeling. I don't know. I do not know. I wasn't there. I am. I'm gonna make a video later today about the Ray J, Kim Kardashian thing. Silky, your grandma's right. Oh, your granddad is right. TMZ is the mouth for the devil. It's true. It's true. What's the triple alphabet? Oh, yeah. Well, isn't everything? All right. So let's move to the next thing I wanted to show y'all. It's another clip. No, not that one. Another clip of the same sort about this little goblin being excited about his tip, but then it never comes in, I guess, or what's the tip?
About David Insel. I'm not saying, well, it's about David and Celeste. I will tell you that. Okay. It is about David and Celeste. And I just can't wait for this call to happen. Actually, yeah.
No, you have the chat curious about what this David development may be.
I ran into our news meeting this morning after getting the call and said, guys, so a couple of the producers are going to be making a phone call at around hopefully 10:30, hopefully a half hour. And I hope we're able to talk about it on the show. We'll find out after the phone call. Anyway,
So I don't know if that ever got released or whatever, but apparently, they're still getting some exclusive information over there. They're waiting for phone calls. They're waiting for this and that. He's like a little goblin. I know, just spit it out, you drunk goblin. I don't know if he's drunk, y'all. I always do say that he appears to me to be drunk. I definitely grew up around a whole lot of alcoholics, but I'm not an expert. Okay, then my girl Kadisha Lynn. I always call her Kadisha Lynn. Y'all, if you are not following her, she is on top of things. You need to be following her. All right, so this is the part I wanted to show y'all. I was watching her video yesterday. I don't even remember what it was. I just said, I just put the video in my notes app and I was like 3:30, like the timestamp. So I don't know what it is. Let's see.
In this black plastic, but they were also wrapped in something very special inside of this black plastic. They were wrapped with something else and then this black plastic over them. And because it was an active investigation to try.
I went back 30 seconds.
Flipped, but they did answer.
Uh-oh. She glitching.
Or it was confirmed to Celeste. NBCLA was out on the ground when this was happening and they caught police there and they were asking them questions and they said that they were being pretty tight-lipped, but they did answer a few questions for them. And they told NBCLA not only was this person wrapped in this black plastic, but they were also wrapped in something very special inside of this black plastic. So they were wrapped with something else and then this black plastic over them. And because it was an active investigation to try to figure out what happened, NBCLA said that they didn't go into detail on what this special thing was. And they said based off their reporting, they know this because it could be something that could connect whoever did this. They said that it could be something like a blanket. It could be something like a sheet, something that ties back to somebody else that could have possibly put Celeste in this car. And I feel like this is a huge piece of evidence. And we know that the cops are being very tight-lipped right now, but I have never heard anybody else talk about about it. So I felt like it's something that definitely needed to be shared. But as time goes on and on, we are learning more and more. And I feel like this is exactly what the cops are doing. And it does hurt investigators when they don't have a cause of death. So they are basically trying to figure this all out without actually knowing what.
So my takeaway from it, and the reason I wanted to show that to y'all, is that there is reporting, and there was reporting. I do remember it, but I'm glad that she brought it back up. Because there's so much stuff going on and so much new stuff. It's like, you know, these big shocking revelations, and then we kind of forget or whatever. So I'm glad she brought that back up. The body was wrapped in like a black tarp. But within the tarp, it was wrapped in something very specific. Now, I've heard it reported that the remains were wrapped in 2 separate plastic bags. Like, I don't know if that would mean vacuum sealed. I don't know what plastic bag means. I don't know if it would be in the plastic bag, then wrapped in something, then wrapped in the tarp. But like, it wasn't just like thrown in there. It was like, you know, wrapped, at least 2 layers, all that. I did post in the live chat the link to that video. Someone did specifically ask for it. The name of the video is David Exposed. Friends come forward with damaging evidence to exclamation points. The sheets would contain DNA. Interesting. Well, Fi, I am glad that Faisal, I am glad you said that, because we're going to get to a link later on in the live. One of the links I have to share with y'all that does kind of support this theory that you just came up with. He said, theory I just came up with, Celeste somehow has keys to the Tesla, and her parents somehow K-word her and tried to frame David for some reason. I mean, agreed completely, Joaquin. Joaquin said, so they tampering with evidence. Basically, the feds need to take this case over. I do not trust LAPD. The feds do need to take the case over. I completely agree. Oh, that would be crazy, Norma. I mean, nothing would surprise me. I heard it was a special container she was in, but the drone picture looked like plastic bags. Whatever cultish affiliation it may or may not be, operates same in structure, control, immersion, and members' lives as estology, in my opinion. This guy has to be in deep if he's guilty or something else. I agree. What if it was a Hello Kitty blanket? Let's not do too much speculating. But anyway, yeah, so let me go to the next thing I wanted to tell y'all. Now, the next link comes to us from a subscriber, one of the cousins, Naja. She sent this tip, and it's this TikTok. Now, this TikTok was posted 2024. Okay, David's prayers, and it's just more imagery of this bloodstained clothes thing that's basically become a part of his brand at this point. He's asking for things, but like, if you look back here on the bed behind him as he's moving, you will see, I guess I can.
To sin. I do not understand what I do, because I do what I don't want to do, and I hate what I do. And if I do what I don't want to do, I agree that the law is good. As it is, I am no longer
I wasn't even watching this for the purpose of listening to what this man was saying, but now I'm curious. The whole purpose of this is to look back here on the bed. This is before Celeste would have passed. This is October 2024 on David's prayers. So again, I mean, he's supposedly a Christian with all these dark and demented lyrics. I mean, I ain't trying to, tell somebody else what they could do. Need to change that smoke detector. Isn't that what it means when the light is red? Is he reading a Bible verse? I'm not going to hold you. Some of the Bible verses are a little creepy whenever they're read with no context.
Hey everybody, it's David here. Today I'm going to be talking about sin and God's forgiveness. And I'm going to be reading from Romans 7:14, and it goes like this. We know that the law is spiritual, but I am unspiritual, sold as a slave to sin. I do not understand what I do, because I do what I don't want to do, and I hate what I do. And if I do what I don't want to do, I agree that the law is good. As it is, I am no longer myself.
It sounds like a deal with the devil riddle, girl. I don't do what I want to do, don't do, want, do, don't do, won't.
Who no longer myself.
Somebody said he made that up.
7:14.
The purpose is to look at the bloody shirt. Okay,
we know
back
that
here.
the law is spiritual, but I am unspiritual, sold as a slave to sin. I do not understand what I do because
that does not apply to me. So that don't apply to me. I wasn't sold as a nothing to nobody. Huh? Okay, look at the shirt. Maybe he's moved over a little.
I promise I'll change it. I'll change soon. I'll fix these problems. And he'll be like, okay, maybe I do have this faith that you will change. So I'll stay. Even at my own expense, I'm the one being hurt. I'm the one getting my heart broken. I'll stay because that love I have.
One thing you're not going to do, one thing you're absolutely not going to do on my page is shame me for calling attention to the fact that the Bible says some stuff that out of context is very weird. So what you're not going to do is act like it's some type of understanding deficiency. If you don't understand the Bible, that's okay. Project that shit right back at yourself, girl. Here's a mirror. Here you go. Bye. Bye. Anyway, so maybe there's a bloody shirt back there. It could be tie-dye. I don't really know. But I wanted to show y'all that because, I don't know, just kind of weird. Not weird that he would have a prayers channel. Actually, I completely endorse the prayers channel. I wish that he would do more prayers, unless I'm scared, I hate you, I killed you, I didn't even care, I don't regret it. I mean, less of that, more of Bible. Even though some people in my chat, including the person who tried to claim that I don't understand the Bible, said that, you know, we don't understand the Bible. And truly, I don't understand some parts of the Bible because it does not make sense. There's certain parts of the Bible that disagree with itself. And that's why I don't believe that it is in its current form, the actual written word of God. I know y'all gonna unsubscribe. I know I'm about to lose 1,000 subscribers, but I just don't. It came through too many translations and too much political bullshit over the last 2,000 years. I'm just so sorry. Yes, it did. They didn't even start writing it down until 100 years after Jesus was whatever, gone and came back, whatever he did. And do I believe in God? Absolutely. Yes, I do. Do I believe that the Bible or any spiritual or religious text is the 100% infallible word of God? No. Because if it was, we wouldn't have all this discernment. We wouldn't need it. That's my opinion. Y'all can argue with your mama or your pastor. Don't argue with me. You're not going to change my mind. I'm pretty set on this one. But don't get too freaked out. You know, I do believe in God. Some of this stuff in the Bible they be putting in there, it was the King James Version especially. He messed some stuff up. He took some real important stuff out, and it takes the context of the book away. Argue with your mama. Don't argue with me. And if you don't understand that, maybe educate yourself. Anyway, okay, so we have another exclusive. This is allegedly Celeste got into an unknown car, supposedly. So let me look. I don't want to watch this whole 11-minute long thing. Yeah, and that's what I will say. If y'all don't have the straight up connection to the mothership, if y'all don't get the downloads directly, I do feel sorry for you. Maybe you have to rely on stuff other people wrote for other times that are not these times. That sucks for you. Can't relate, but do what you got to do, girl. Unknown. No. Liquor. Okay.
Out a lot at this store. It says liquor store, but it's actually a liquor and convenience store, and the school bus actually stops right by it. So our producer decided to pay a visit and stop by to take a look, because this location is key in this case. It is key in Celeste's story, because it's one of the last known locations where Celeste was seen before disappearing the second time in March of 2024. And it is also the place where her family came looking for her. The owner of the store remembers seeing Celeste often and reportedly gave her family video from his security cameras during one of the instances when she ran away and they came to ask him for help. Have you seen her? Can you show us your video? You're going to hear a lot more about what was on that video in just a moment. So stay right where you are. And I want to be really clear about one thing, okay? It has not been would have given us some timeline. It just didn't seem to pan out. I was so excited when I saw some video that purported to be video of potentially Celeste in the balcony at one of his concerts over the summer, which would have given us some timeline. It just didn't seem to pan out, though.
Yeah, I get why people online were really into this video and thought that this was going to be critical to the investigation. There is this woman, the video is David in concert from, it's either August 23rd or 24th. He had two shows.
I'm trying to get to the part where they talk about the car.
We have been told by a source that is connected to the case that it is not Celeste, and therefore it killed within a, roughly 10-day period. At some point during those 10 days would have been when she was killed.
There is like her. For instance, the video of one of the songs.
Video one day and broke it down. It could be her.
I'm tired of this guy anyway. So they're like basically just trying to debunk that, like, the girl that we saw on my last David live that we did, and like now everybody and their mom has made a video about it too. There was like this girl at the top of the stage at that Silver Springs, Maryland concert that David had. And she was like at the top on the like side VIP section or whatever. And it kind of looked like it could be Celeste, but it kind of was like just too blurry. And that's what I said over here. I didn't say, oh, look, there's Celeste. I'm like, could it be? It could be Celeste. Whatever, this is for people over here. This is what we do over here. We're kind of like, could be, could not be, because I don't want to be all, oh, look, it's Celeste. It's Celeste. And then it's like, it's definitely not. So I'm still, this guy's on here trying to debunk. This guy is out here trying to debunk. And he's saying that wasn't her, that wasn't her, that wasn't her. Now they got people out here saying that definitely was her. And there's people arguing about it. For me, I don't know if it was her or was not her. I'm not willing to take this guy's word for it. I'll tell you that. But because they are, have been credible sources in this particular case, I'll say, they have been, they identified Celeste before the cops and all that. Like Deja said, it was her. Could be. I don't know. I do know he had a type. He liked a certain type of looking girl. Okay. Like whatever the age, he had a certain specific like aesthetic look that he went for. Like the girls, the women that he was hanging out with, they get confused with each other. That's all I'll say. Cheyenne said, what are your opinions on how to prevent this debauchery? It's hard to stay positive and advocate appropriately. What I will tell y'all is we all only have a certain zone of control. There's really only so much that you have control over. And, whether you believe in God, you could be an atheist, like maybe just happenstance has made it such that you have a certain amount of control and influence. Some things are under your control and you can absolutely control the outcome. Some things are under your influence where you could influence the outcome. I would consider, my area of control to be very small, but my area of influence is huge. So what I can do is what I can do. At the end of the day, I don't think that it's, easier said than done. But at the end of the day, I don't think it's appropriate, productive, healthy, or helpful in any way to worry about things that we just cannot control. But for example, I try to lead by example. What we can control is jumping to conclusions or not. What we can control is saying someone did something and we don't have proof for or not. If you're a parent, what you can control, especially when your children are very young, is what you teach them, right from wrong, spending the time with them. Easier said than done. Easy for me to say I don't have kids, but you do. Whoever does has kids. You talk to them in a best way. You do the best you can. And you hope for the best. That's really it. If everyone's doing the best they can and hoping for the best, I think we're in a better world in general. I do. Okay. Let's move on to the next thing. She got into a car with the guy at the liquor store. Now, what I will tell you, What I will tell you, what I'm kind of, just feeling, suspecting, and thinking, I'm not 100% sure. And I feel almost like I shouldn't even say it because, again, like we've talked about it so much in this video, like there's so much misinformation. There's people misconstruing other people's words. People like to take what I say completely out of context. So it's almost like I just don't even want to say it, but I will. Just because somebody's family member is involved doesn't mean the family has the best intentions. Okay. I've seen this before. We'll go Jamie Spears. With Britney Spears' conservatorship, everybody was like, well, the family is involved. So, we need to leave them alone and stay out of their business. The family's involved. So I'm sure that's that. Larry Rabb was involved in trying to get his daughter into a conservatorship. He went up there to the court. Now, I'm starting to wonder, was that his biological daughter, or did she call him dad for another reason? Now that I learn more about these RICO indictments, that's neither here nor there. Okay. That being said, parents and sisters can abuse their children and siblings. Brothers, I'm sure, put a 1 in the chat if you know firsthand. I don't have a brother, but put a 1 in the chat if you know firsthand your brother can abuse you. Put a 1 in the chat if you know firsthand a sibling can abuse you. Put a 1 in the chat if you know that you could be running from home because you're running from your sibling. Just because somebody is your sibling don't mean they have the best interest in mind. Look at all these ones. Cookie, Shanna, Heartless, Moonflower, TT Marie, Morris, Joaquin, Miss Jams, Tina. Stepdad. I'm bringing up the sister. Yep, Jess said my brother went to jail behind my sister. See? I know somebody who I went to law school with. Ivy League law school. She said the most traumatic moment of her life, she almost died. She saw the light. Her brother and her had gotten in an argument and he was choking her and strangling her. Just like as kids. Like she almost died. I don't have a brother. The Lord knew. My daddy would have tore him up one side and down the other if he would have hurted us. Okay, hurted. Now, me and my sisters get along. Your own parents. Exactly, Alex. Exactly. Some people's own parents. So the reason I'm bringing up the sister is because in that clip we just watched, they were saying like the liquor store owner had worked with Celeste's sister to give the sister the viewing the body, but not the body cam, viewing the surveillance footage. So an average, like well-adjusted, normal brain person would say, oh, that's a good thing. The sister was looking for her younger sister. That's so nice. Well, I happen to know another sister who might have experimented on her twin sisters. I'm not sure that they would particularly agree that their sister had the best interest of theirs in mind. I'll just say that. Why didn't the sister, Janine said, why didn't the sister go all out using social media to find her sister? But she could go out using social media on a GoFundMe. Now, all that being said, I don't necessarily suspect this sister. I've never seen her. I've never spoken to her. I've never heard from her. I don't know anything about her. What I will say is it's expensive to bury people. They might really need the money. The sister might have known that that Celeste was running from. I mean, there's all kinds of things that could have been going on. The sister might be completely helpful, innocent, might be a victim herself. I mean, there's just too many possibilities. So I don't want to say, oh, this is what I think. I'm just, again, to clarify, I'm just going over any and all possibilities. These are things that come to my mind. And it's things that wouldn't come to just anybody's mind. It only comes to my mind because I'm in this job. I'm in this world where parents are abusing their children and siblings are abusing their siblings. And everybody's like, oh, it must be okay because the family's involved. No, the family sometimes is abusive. Okay. Yeah, Lisa, I'm telling you, so many sad family experiences from people in the chat. So sorry for everyone that had to deal with something like that. I mean, it's very common, but if you grew up in a normal family, you just almost like truly cannot fathom it. Like a lot of y'all just cannot fathom how a mother wouldn't go looking for her daughter. But I can, I've seen these mothers. Look at Tania. she'll put out a missing poster from time to time for Nova, but like Nova's running away from something. Nova says she's 15 now. She was 13 when she first ran away. The reason she says she ran away is because her mom was toxic. And there are videos of this mom, or at least audio recordings of this mom, screaming, "You're a conniving little bit," and this and that. "Forget I exist," screaming stuff like that to her own teenage daughter. "You're so obsessed with me," she said to her own teenage daughter. Okay, so these mothers out here do be wildin'. All right. Now, am I saying this mother was doing that? No, of course not. I've never seen her, never spoken to her. Thank you so much to Sarah for the $10. Oh my gosh, behavior analyst. Sarah Adams, thank you for the $10 super chat. She said she's a behavioral analyst. Oh my God, yes. Give us more analysts. Beep. Analysis. Do you have a YouTube channel? I want to watch if you make videos on this. Behavior analyst here. If she was wrapped in a blanket, that usually denotes a degree of care and familiarity with the victim. You know what? That tracks. Like that rings, that tings, that dings, that feels right. I buy it in my mind. One more time, y'all. Sarah Adams, and thank you again for that $10 super chat. She's a behavior analyst. If Celeste was wrapped in a blanket, according to this, behavior analyst opinion, usually that would denote a degree of care and familiarity with the victim. Very interesting. Thank you, Trish, for the $5 super chat. She says, I used to live in the grand apartments right by that liquor store, and then I moved into the mountains behind the liquor store. I have chills. She has another comment. Thanks so much for the $2 super chat. I've met the owner of the liquor store. Yeah, it's crazy. Y'all are all right there over there. Thank you, Nixie, for gifting a membership. Hills Have Eyes vibes. Seriously. Van, I've thought this as well. David could have very much been Celeste's out from trouble from home, which is devastating. Hopefully we can get answers. True. Robert said that he had a dog that he buried on his property and he wrapped him in a blanket. Madison, let's be clear. She wasn't wrapped in a blanket. Well, we don't know. We actually don't know if her body was wrapped in a blanket or not. Now, it has been reported that she was wrapped in a bag, but then they also said something very specific. So people are speculating that this something very specific could have been a blanket. It could have been a jacket. It could have been a FEMA tarp. I mean, I don't know. Girl, if David is my only hope, take me now. Amen. Packed up, prayed up, and ready to go up, man, Yasha. I'm ready to go. They said she was wrapped in something very specific. Could have been a blanket, could have not. Okay. So let's get to the next thing I wanted to talk to y'all about. So I have a career update for David. He's been removed. Now, at first, they had removed him from, he was just about to launch. I mean, he was about to go into the stratosphere. He had just launched a collaboration with Hollister and Crocs. So it was a 3-part collaboration, David, Hollister, and Crocs. And I don't know if y'all know this or not, but Hollister is coming back on the come up. The kids think Hollister is cool again or something. So could have been a FEMA tarp, not a FEMA blanket, girl, FEMA tarp. Listen, the ones from 504 know for sure. Them blue ass tarps. We had a FEMA tarp on our trailer. It came split apart down the middle, y'all. Anyway, that was Hurricane Gustav, though, not Katrina. We're just spitballing. This is not the news. This is opinion. This is all that. Yes, I did see him painting the blood shirts. We did do, I reacted to that 2 days ago. on the live. So he had a Hollister and a Crocs, and the kids love Crocs. I don't know if y'all know this or not, but the kids are loving the Crocs right now. And he had a Crocs Hollister collab that got pulled off the web, and then the Hollister Crocs collab still launched, but David was not the model. They got a different model to come in there. Like David got okay, and this is like a string of these things are happening now with David. Here is another such thing. This is yahoo.com music feeds. David removed from Spilt Milk 2025 lineup amidst body in the trunk investigation. Appears to have been removed from this year's Spilt Milk lineup. I think it's like a music thing, music festival, concert thing. Following the discovery of human remains belonging to a missing teenage girl in the boot of a car. The boot. That's what y'all call it in the UK or something? The boot? It's supposed to be the trunk. Festival organizers quietly scrubbed. It must be the UK because that's how y'all spell spilled. This must be England or something over here. Where's the Spilt Milk Festival? It must be UK because they spelling stuff spilt and they call in the trunk the boot. Belonging to a missing teenage girl in the boot of a car allegedly registered in his name, festival organizers quietly scrubbed the 20-year-old's name from their website and socials this week. Just days after the Los Angeles police confirmed that a body was found in an impounded Tesla, and it was Celeste. She was just 13 years old when she was reported missing. We believe it is inappropriate for him to be given this platform. Now, I want to take a moment and just say I disagree. I do know that the UK, they're a little bit absolutely freaking insane over there with not letting y'all just speak freely. Y'all don't really have like free speech over there. So I could see how this could be like what's going on or whatever, but I don't like this messaging. We believe it's inappropriate for him to be given this platform. He's literally innocent until proven guilty at this point. So what they should have said was it's going to affect our numbers. And we're not trying to put our festival success on the back of a David boycott. He is in a very controversial criminal entanglement over there. And until that's sorted out, we don't want to affect our bottom line. I would have respected that a lot more than, oh, we already determined he's guilty. Because that's not how we do it over here in the United States of America. Like, again, all signs are pointing to him. I'm not trying to say I think he's innocent, truly. But I did the same thing with Diddy. That you have to consider people to be innocent until they're proven guilty. Because why? Because do unto others what you have them do unto you. I personally have been accused of crimes and it was false in a criminal sense. Authorities never accuse me of a crime. In a civil sense, rather. Not a criminal sense. In a civil sense, I've been accused of criminal activities. People have filed lawsuits on me and said that I harassed them. Harassment is a crime. They have filed lawsuits on me and said that I stalked them. Stalking is a crime. I did not harass and I did not stalk them. That was a lie. And there were people, yeah, we don't spell it. We don't say spilt. We say spilled. S-P-I-L-L-E-D, like past tense of spill. We use the same conjugation for both. Spilled and spilt is all spilled. But anyway, my point is I've been falsely accused of stuff by people. And then there were like a few people that were like, oh, well, then she must have did it because they sued her. Well, now those people must know I must have not because I keep winning and they owe me attorney's fees and sanctions. But I do have a bias to where like I know personally what it feels like for people to just freaking lie, to just lie on your name and for lies to be being spread about you. So I'm like kind of like sensitive to it. I don't like this messaging. It's inappropriate to give him a platform. They should have just said it's going to affect our bottom line and we're not trying to take the financial risk. But over there, they don't have free speech or whatever. So that sucks or whatever. I'm so sorry about that. Shout out to Tough Stino in the chat if you're still in here. Oh, my mom had sent me a text about my hair not being dry. Oh my God, there's a new medical condition called Ozempic genitals. I just found out about it when I looked at my text messages. Ozempic vulva. Oh no, girl. Okay. Anyway. All right. Back to what we were doing over here. So he's been removed from the lineup. I'm not mad they removed him from the lineup. The little, we don't think we should give him the platform, that little fake woke bullshit, whenever really the real reason is they just don't want to lose money. They should have just said the real reason. That would have been perfectly understandable. But anyway. Okay, so some more evidence from the Discord, alleged Discord server. Okay, so let's see. We got a lady that's done found something. Allegedly evidence on the Discord server. Let's see. Next thing, let's go. Oops, hold on. False start. 10-second penalty.
She's not. Y'all wasn't doing enough research. Y'all was not doing enough research. I just joined David's Discord server. Get ready for the screenshots because, yeah, she's not here and he no longer posts about her. So I'm probably guessing they broke up. She's still in here. Nope, she already left. Celeste, is that not her? That's his ex. Before Yay, that's his ex. What? Am I slow? Celeste is the girl he's showing his streams. Yay, woohoo, 7.
Just so y'all know, I do not have it sped up like this. It's just sped up like this on its own. So on the replay, y'all should be able to, on the replay, y'all should be able to do like the settings and slow it down if you want.
Girl who spoiled him. So I assume my house is not my home. It's probably about Celeste, which is a song. I clicked on this picture and that's David doing this with a girl. And she has a ring on her finger. The dude said that supposedly it's not Celeste. It's supposed to be his new girlfriend or something. But I don't know. Like the ring on the finger just gives off Celeste. Like she had a ring on her finger with David.
How many of these little girls did he give rings on the finger to? That's what I want to know.
Written on right here. So I don't know. This was in 2025. Somebody said, oh, are you like David's girlfriend? And then somebody replied saying, gang, she's a minor. Oh, dang, my bad. But notice how their accounts are deleted. I don't know, bro. Somebody said, when I say he made the best Alfredo Parmesan I've ever had, and then somebody replied saying, David made that once on stream with his girlfriend. Don't forget, they were saying that Celeste was popping up on stream. Let's not forget that. Let's not forget that. Did David break up with his girlfriend? It surely sounds like it. I don't know why. That was like last year. September, he had a GF. I just don't know which September, LMAO, 2023 or 2024. Guys, I'm going to let y'all do the timestamps, everything. I'm going to let y'all do all of that. By the way, I have the Spotify, and here's a shared playlist with David. I clicked the link. Who is that? Who is that? Who is that? Who is that? This is supposed to be the shared playlist with David. How does David drop heartbreak songs when he has never dated anyone? I remember him saying like he's never been with anybody. And then somebody said he has a GF right now, I'm pretty sure in 2024 in December. Like he was dating that one girl not too long ago. Who are we talking about though? Like who? He definitely had a girl or two. Wasn't he dating a girl with red hair? That's funny because there's literally a TikTok of David holding. You know what? I just put this picture. And voila! I mean the date. I don't know. Y'all connect the dots for me because I can't do that. But right here, you see her hair. It's red. It's red. Regardless, if you go back to the screenshot though, it says I think he said that 2 years ago though. So yeah, my bad.
I don't know why. It must be a Gen Z thing. I do not know why they have to put the loud AF music like halfway through. It just starts halfway through and it starts stressing me out. Okay. So just more Discord receipts here. Did she have red hair? Did she not? I mean, this TikTok is like very speculative. So I would just say take with a grain of salt, but it was something that I came across that I did want to show y'all. At some point he did start dating. Apparently had a couple of relationships, they say in. No, Helen, I have not heard that rumor that her family got $10,000 before she went missing. No, I have not heard that rumor. That would not look good for him though. Okay, so let me move to the next thing I wanted to show y'all. This is along the same lines of the spilt milk. And the Hollister and the Crocs cancellation. Olympic figure skater Elisa Liu changes program amid death investigation involving David. She was going to skate her short program in the lead up to the 2026 Milan Winter Olympics to This Is How It Feels by David and Icelandic artist Laufey. So it's like a feature. World figure skating champion Elisa Liu said she's scrapping her short program that would have included music from David amid an ongoing investigation into the death of a teenage girl whose remains were found outside his vehicle. As many of you know, I recently debuted a new short program for the 25-26 season. However, in light of recent news, my team and I are confidently pursuing a different direction that aligns with my values and just my overall ethos. Fair. That is an appropriate statement. Not, I don't want to give him the platform. Like, what the hell? Shut up. This is appropriate because it's kind of vague. You don't really exactly know which values. Maybe she learned some new values. This is fine. Her post did not mention the singer by name, but a representative said in an email that the change is due to the situation involving David. An attorney for David did not immediately respond. This is the Scientology one or a different one? To a request for comment on Thursday. Lou had previously announced that she would skate her program to This Is How It Feels by David and this other Iceland artist. Shout out to Iceland cousins in the chat. In the lead up to the 2026 Milan Winter Olympics, I'm eager to start brainstorming new ideas, and I want to ensure my creative process isn't rushed. So in the meantime, you may see some familiar programs. Thank you for your ongoing support. The figure skater, who finished 6th in the 2022 Beijing Olympics, told the Associated Press on Wednesday that she was looking forward to adding to her original program, but welcomes the change. I have to change it, forced to change my hand, basically, but that's all right. I almost was grieving the process. Oh, I have my programs. They were all going to grow and evolve, and I was going to add more to it, but there's really nothing like a fresh start. LAPD opened the death investigation, the coroner's office, in a statement released earlier this month. He was cooperating, but he's no longer cooperating. The vehicle had been taken. Okay, so it's all the same stuff we already knew there. But, with these Olympics, these figure skating things, like they work on them for a long, long time because you have judges and they're judging you on like your different little tricks and things you do and your different techniques and skills. And so when you're developing these routines, you're like doing it with that in mind. Like, okay, the song has to follow the different moves and the different points you need to hit to show the judges what you're doing. So it's like not just like, oh, you got to switch the song, you can keep the same routine. No, there's like leads and ebbs and flows, and you follow the song and it builds up, and the climax, the crescendo, and then the come down, and then the falling action. And it's like the song and the dance, or the song and the routine, are intricately intertwined and almost probably inexplicably, but she'll be able to do it. She's like a world champion. But I did want to tell y'all that news, and good luck to her. Okay, let's get into the car, the Google Earth. All right, I did kind of tease this earlier. The time has come. This person said, spent way too much time on Google Earth, just putting this out there. The house he was renting is, I won't put the address, is at an address. Comparing houses in the area to news reports about the warrant, the house is smudged out. Keep in mind, anyone with status can opt to have their property blurred out on Google Earth. You can also see the Tesla parked in front. Adjust the street view when you can see it. The photos given by Google are also probably behind. On the car's rear window, it does seem to have the first parking ticket, but I'm really not sure. And it doesn't look like it has been damaged yet here. So someone says, can you post a picture of the car? And that's here. We'll go on Google Maps and I'll show it to y'all. That's the drone footage that they posted. But look what I said. I said, well, they must have just, I spelled it wrong. They must have just blurred it out, because I saw the house on Google Maps clearly yesterday. So let's go over there and see if we could find it. This is public information from the drone footage. He doesn't live there anymore. He moved out. What was it called? Bluebird Avenue. That's where I originally. Okay. So this is Bluebird Avenue. A random blur. Sometimes it's just like a random blur. Okay, let me see. Let's walk down the street. I think it's down this street. Hold on. How do I get to... I was right around here. I was all over Google Maps, y'all. I'm going to break out the laptop. Okay, hold on. Because I really didn't want to type in the address because, like, even though he doesn't even live there and it's not his personal address, they pick on me. So I just try to keep everything like 1,000 feet above the belt. Yeah, they do have it blurred out now. That is crazy. Oh my God. Let me see if I took pictures of it and I can show y'all that it used to not be blurred out. Oh my gosh. That is nuts. Look, they have it completely blurred out now. And it was not like this. Where's my phone? It was not like this. Literally yesterday, it was the day before yesterday. I was looking at it. Let me see if I got the pictures. I'll show y'all the pictures of the house from Google Maps. Oh, they're on that laptop. Hold on. But I'll tell y'all why I was looking. Because I also don't like how zoomed in it is. Can we zoom out? Look, there's a Tesla. A Tesla. Not the Tesla. Understand what I'm saying here? I don't know who this Tesla's for. LA is probably the Tesla capital of the world. Okay, so let's not just, oh, black Tesla. However, black Tesla. You know what I mean? Like, and it does look like that car been sitting out there for a while. Why do I say that? Look at the roof. It looks like it's been sitting under that tree for at least a few days. The roof has pollen on it. Now, when was this picture taken? It looks like May 2024 is what it says up here. So there's trash out here on the streets. There's another Tesla down there. Is that a... Yep, there's another Tesla right there. Also, looks like it's been there for a while. This one's blue. Is that one also in David's name? You know, these are questions that come through my mind. Now, when you turn back around this way, you can see the front of the Tesla. But when you go back one click, it's you're behind it, and now everything's all blurred. Now the Tesla's blurred out. Now they got the Tesla blurred out. Y'all saw that happen in real time? Did y'all see that happen in real time? We just saw that Tesla, did we not? Now something right here blurred. There's the Tesla, but this is all blurred out, and it was not yesterday. Look, I got the picture right here. From when I took the picture. When was this picture from? Day before yesterday. Look, let me show y'all the picture. Oh, wait. No, I got the wrong thing up. Hold on. False alarm, false start. 10-second penalty. Why isn't it up? Hold on. Girl, the technology. Hold on. I'm about to send it to my own self. Hold on. Go past the house and go back, somebody's saying. All right, hold on. I just want to show y'all the actual pictures I took so you know I'm not crazy. All right. Here's one picture. Okay, see? Not blurred out. Not blurred out. See it? See it? Not blurred out. Not blurred out. Let me pull up the other picture that I took. Again, I took this on September 24th at 6:34 p.m. That's the metadata of the picture. Let me show you the other picture that I took a screenshot of. And here it is. See? Not blurred out. Not blurred out. There's a cactus. When I walked down here, I could see the camera. Look, a security camera. the other security camera here. And as you will note, there is a 3-car garage. Three car garage. Three car garage. Do you see the 3-car garage? There's 1, 2, 3. Okay. Not blurred out. That same black Tesla, that same blue Tesla. All right, good. Glad that I actually took a screenshot there. I'm going to have to start taking a lot more. There's a feature with Google that you can opt in to have your house blurred. Well, that's weird. I mean, not weird. I guess it's okay, but like there's already drone footage and everything else all about this out there. So, I mean, we've already seen the house. But yeah, they have blurred the house out. The house was not blurred before. Now it is completely blurred. Something right there, they got blurred. I don't know what that is. But now look, this house, they have blurred the whole thing out. Even if you go down the street. But I'll tell you, the reason that I wanted to look at this was because that landlord was saying there's only 2 ways in the house. There's only 1 way in and 1 way out, and there's cameras on it. But I don't really actually believe that, even before I even looked on Google Maps over here. If you actually pull out and go to the, how do I go to like, look, it's like blurred out now. If you go to the satellite view and look above the house. Oh, shoot. Hold on. No, go away. Oh, God, this is like 2025 Google, please. Okay, so here's the house from the satellite view. And this is that street we were just on. Okay, do you see? Zoom in. You can't zoom in anymore. It's as much as it zooms in. Okay. So this is the street that we just saw a Tesla parked on. Now, I mean, another question that passes my mind, why wasn't the Tesla parked there? It was parked up the street and around the corner in front of a neighbor's driveway. Why wasn't the Tesla parked there? I mean, maybe it wasn't parked inside the driveway because it was, maybe it wasn't parked inside the garage because the car was too big to fit in there. Why wasn't it parked right here? He didn't have no problem parking that car right here before, or someone did. So here's like a pool. Is there something inside the pool? Anyway, it appears to me like there could probably be some type of other entrance. All along here. You mean to tell me you can't get in and out of the pool? You can't get nowhere? You can't get in and out of the house at all except right here? Maybe. I don't know how it works over there, but someone did tell me that, you know, a lot of these houses have like so-called servants entrances where like staff, like these old mansions, they would have staff and stuff and they weren't supposed to use the front door. So they would go through another door, a side door, a butler entrance, I think is what she called it, servant entrance or butler entrance. And I don't fully believe that there were cameras on the only entrance. Somebody's also saying that the Ring camera was destroyed. I'm trying to figure out what the hell is in that pool. That's as much as it zooms in too. And watch, before you know it, it's going to be blurred out too. They've blurred this house out. You have to have 2 exits. It's fire code. Okay. All right. Anyway, so I wanted to tell y'all that had been blurred out. And even though I was able to see it just the day before yesterday, but I wanted to also tell y'all that there was a sticker. There was a sticker on that Tesla, but it looked like it was just the outline of a sticker. Actually, you know what that actually looks like to me? Now that I'm looking at it zoomed in like this, it looks like an Alpha Kappa Alpha license plate cover. Shout out to the AKAs in the chat. Does that tell me if that looks like the pink and green AKA? I can't unsee it. It doesn't look like a parking ticket sticker to me. It looks like a license plate cover. A AKA. It looks like an AKA. It looks like Alpha Kappa Alpha license plate cover. Why would it be in that window? They do put it in the back glass. They do put it in the back glass in California. Somebody did do the research on it. So let me pull that up. I don't know if it's a ticket for certain, but definitely notable. So this is what those look like. Could have been something like this. Somebody said that's not a City of LA parking ticket. Parking tickets are always placed on the front windshield under the wiper blade. That's not a parking ticket, but it could be. This looks like a different Tesla too, by the way. I don't know if that's the same Tesla. Is that the same Tesla? Look at the back lights. Oh, it could be just different angle. It does appear to be a Tesla Model Y. Is this an X or a Y? It's hard to tell. Is that the same exact black Tesla? This one has a dent in the trunk. But again, whenever I looked on Google Maps, it said this one was from May 2024. So there's definitely a black Tesla parked right there. And then over here, the SF Investigates also has the black Tesla parked, on the side of the street. But this has a dent in it. That's the house from a different angle. Now it is blurred out. There's a link to rent the house. Oh, I want to see inside. Exclusive. You can rent the house. It's back on the market. They tried to cover it up on Google Maps. Here's the whole listing. Beautiful house. Okay, upon further examination, it appears as though the black things, the dark objects in the pool might have been shadows from the trees. Okay, because look how the shadows are casting in the trees. Beautiful, beautiful home. They got a nice dark green pool. They got the Disney green painted right here on the back. Again, I mean, could somebody have hopped over this fence and got in here? Where's the cameras over here? I don't see not near one camera. Not one. Okay, here's the kitchen. Exclusive. It's not that. I don't know if it's exclusive, y'all. But it's exclusive to me. I never saw it before. This is apparently what the inside of the house looks like. Shout out to Reddit for putting this up. Beautiful, beautiful bathroom. Little plain, but it's being rented. You would decorate it if you moved in. 19,000 something a month. Almost 20,000 a month. Is this a closet? It is bigger than my bedroom. Maybe the same size. I don't know. This is interesting. Okay, so we have some pictures inside the house now, y'all. If we can compare any of this stuff to Celeste, I love these built-ins. That's how you know somebody got a nice house, whenever they have built-in drawers and cabinets. Okay, that is nice. Look at the feet on the bathtub. That is a dream bathtub right there. Look at that thing. I always wanted one of these showers like this until I finally got one. I mean, I have a very baby version of it, like a little bitty one, but it's like everything's glass. There's no shower curtain, and I don't even go take a shower in there. I actually like a shower curtain, actually. I take a bath in the little bathroom or a shower and a bath. But anyway, beautiful. This is the inside of the house. Nice skylight moment. It's kind of weird to just have a random, old ass grandfather clock right there. Maybe that's the entrance to the tunnel. Just kidding. Just kidding. Whoa, look at that open right there. Big piano. Wow, very open. This is the inside of the house. It was raided. What the Jeffrey Epstein hell is this statue? Why do we need a little girl with a short mini dress on with her arms wide open at the bottom of the why? Why? I'm asking ChatGPT what that statue is. Why we need that? Why? Inside the house. Maybe it's someone's daughter, but then why wouldn't they take it with them when they moved? I don't know. It's giving Jeffrey Epstein. Sorry, it just is. The outside is my favorite part. I love this part right here. Whoa, look at that. Okay, so we're back to here. All right. So this is the guy. Yes, The boot. Yes, this is, yep. The statues. Yeah, seriously, y'all better let me save it to the Wayback Machine. Let me save it on the page of that little girl statue, actually. Let me save that to the Wayback Machine. And I'll show y'all how to do it too. So when you're doing your research, you can contribute to the cause here. Okay, so web.archive.org. We can also check to see if anyone's ever saved it before. No one's ever saved it. So I would just click this button right here, save this URL in the Wayback Machine. Okay, and it'll get to work doing that. All right, so that's interesting. I'm going to upvote that. Slay. Old news, really. Google Maps and address went out ages ago. No, not really. It was visible 2 days ago, and day before yesterday was visible, and then this morning you couldn't see no more. It's blurred. But we do have some pictures. Yeah, someone even posted it, like, with that little girl picture. That is weird. That is very, very strange. That is very strange. Why aren't more people talking about the facts that she was a minor? I don't know who you're talking about. I've heard many people talk about it. I talk about it every day over here. So you have to go ask them why they're not talking about it, because I'm talking about it. I'm so glad I'm not rich. This child statue is weird. Skull and Bones members have those clocks. That's weird. What in the Benny Blanco hell is that? I know I said the same thing, bad boy. I said, does that lead to the tunnel? Just kidding. Not kidding. Haha, just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. Okay, anyway, let's move to the next thing I wanted to show y'all. All right. So now we're getting a little bit of information, and we're going to follow the leads wherever they go on this channel, that maybe the family story isn't quite adding up. All right. They claim, some of the family members at least claimed, that the last time they saw Celeste was April 2024. But look, her cousin posted these TikToks in June. But then the cops came out and said, she was reported missing 3 times. But again, the family said the last time they saw or heard from her was the last time I saw or heard from her was April. So here's a picture of her with her family in June. And who's this? Why does he have his hand like that so familiar? Who's that? Just curious. Just wondering. And it appears to be Celeste. I don't guess I know for sure. That does look like her. It looks like Celeste to me. That's June last year. So did the family see her since April? I don't know. I'm just pointing out things I'm finding that seem to contradict, following the clues wherever they lead. Okay. Now, we got this reporting a few hours ago, supposedly exclusive from TMZ. Let me turn the reader view on. Celeste's friends thought he was Celeste's boyfriend, and they thought she was 19. So, well, isn't this interesting? Reputation cleanup for the friends by TMZ. That's interesting. That's interesting. Reputation cleanup for all the friends, right? Doesn't it kind of get them off the hook a little bit? Oh, we thought she was 19. She had fake IDs. Wouldn't it help Harvey Levin's Hollywood weirdo freakazoid friends? Things to think about. It's just things to think about. Afterglow Alchemy said, we're being played and manipulated. They took away our communities, and now they take our kids in broad daylight. Quiet part out loud on that one. The statue is called Joyful Empowerment. She did not look 19. Agreed. This is a good point. He could be arrested, perhaps innocent till proven guilty, of course, for contributing to the delinquency of a minor. She obviously lived with him as a minor runaway. I mean, there's that. And I'm sure they are looking at all these options. David's friends say they thought Celeste was his girlfriend. Shocked she was 14. Yeah, right. I mean, sure. Friends who partied with and or knew the singer David were under the impression that Celeste was his girlfriend. Okay, so that's a big piece right there. We're getting kind of like confirmation that they dated. if you could call it that, with a 14, 13-year-old. They were shocked when news came out that she was only 14. All of this would go a lot farther with me if there were not this whole Discord server situation where everybody knew she was young. Sources who, quote, party, that means do drugs and stay out all night. Sources who party in the LA music scene tell TMZ they saw David and Celeste at parties and hangouts. See, people in LA differentiate between a party and a hangout. Just so y'all know, they differentiate. And you know who else differentiates between a shindig and a hangout and a party? People who live in Houston. I don't make the rules. I just found this out as my work went along. So people who party in LA. I don't know if that's the most trustworthy group of individuals. Maybe they know a lot more than what they're letting on. But they were at the parties, they were at the hangouts, and it appeared that they were a couple. Some people, we're told some of these people were under the impression that she was a student at USC. The friends believed Celeste was about 19 years old, and she presented herself as such. Yeah, probably because when she started coming around, she probably said she was 17, but she was 13. So then the next year, she would have been fake 18, and then the next year, she would have been fake 19. TMZ broke the story. Law enforcement sources say Celeste had multiple fake IDs, which allowed her to pass herself off as an adult. So again, fast and grown, none of the adults' fault. It's none of the adults' fault. It's these little girls be fast and grown and thrust theyself into the lifestyle. That's what TMZ is trying to tell me right now. One of the reasons they thought she was over 18 was because she was hanging out at places that had age restrictions. Another thing we're told, yeah, but I mean, what do you have to do to get in one of those places? Know the bodyguard? What do you have to do to get in one of those places? Go around the back and sneak in because the guy who works in the kitchen lets you in? Or, I mean, it's not hard to get into those places. Another thing we're told, David's contemporaries who were at these parties and hangouts. Okay, so David's friend. So is it Benny Blanco? I want to know. Just tell me who. They were shocked that there was any connection between David and Celeste's death. Something that has not been established as far as we know, because his demeanor was super shy and soft-spoken and gentle. As we reported, law enforcement says Celeste ran away multiple times and came from a troubled home. Before law enforcement identified Celeste as the victim found in David's Tesla, her mom told TMZ she had been dating someone named David. Okay. So now I'm going to go to the next item on the agenda. And this is the SF Investigates car/towing report. This tweet was from yesterday. He said, I obtained photos of David's car when it was towed and impounded. I also received a copy of the August 26th, 2025 complaint reporting it as abandoned, along with the vehicle impound report. The caller only noted a large dent in the rear, no mention of odor. The tow report states nothing of value was seen inside. The photos suggest the car had been left in the same spot for an extended period. The initial complaint was called in on August 26th. Then, and an officer first inspected and cited the car the next day, the 27th. It was ticketed again on September 3rd and then towed and impounded on September 5th. The report also notes that there were no wants on the vehicle, meaning it was not reported stolen at the time. I have redacted certain details, including the license plate from the photos and report. Okay, so let's look at the photos. There's that Tesla, and it does have some type of stripes or stickers or something here on the, what's that thing called? I forgot. The wind thing, the little fin thing back here. And then there is a notable dent. What am I looking at here? What's this red stuff? I was scrolling Twitter, saw the investigator. Yeah, somebody said seeing the picture of the trunk and knowing her decomposing body was in there. But was it? This is the day before my birthday, September 3rd. September 3rd, I mean, again, like, I think the body was probably in the trunk. They were saying it smelled like sewage. but I don't really know. And what's this red stuff on the tire? Is it like dust or dirt, or is that part of the paint they put on there? I don't know what that is. What's the red stuff? It's like purple. Like, it's only on the front part of the tire. Also, the whole fender done got ripped off. My God, he was tough on this car. Somebody was. All right, here is the vehicle report. 1406 Bluebird Avenue. So this was not parked out in front of his house. It was parked up the road around the corner. 1406 Bluebird, like a different street. I already tried to read this on one of them. I can't read it. I don't know what it really says. Vehicle something marked for 72 hours on August 27th. Put something with white chalk somewhere. Cited again for 72 more hours again on September 3rd this year. No evidence of movement since that first citation. All marks remain intact. Okay, so they had left some marks on the tires and different stuff, and they were like, all right, so we're towing it. So they got 2 different citations. So people were calling on this car. I want the citation. Has this guy found the calls? Request the calls. Citation issued, and it was impounded. Citation issued on the 5th. It was impounded on the 6th. Her body was found on the 8th. So yeah, we already talked about it, Sunshine Dream. Try to keep up. We already talked about this whole thing already. So you might need to rewind. All right. So now let me go to the next thing I wanted to show y'all. Oh my God. This is another one that it's like, it's on Reddit. I don't know if it's like, a Photoshop or something, but just in case it's real, I wanted to show it to y'all. 20 hours ago, somebody posted this and said, what the hell? And it's like the date is way before, but he's effing weird. Is he plotting? So this is a screenshot from looks like a short or like a story or a repost of some sort on, I don't know, social media. What is this, TikTok? He reposted POV, that drive home after straight up beep someone. And what is this? What is this from? American Psycho or something? I don't know. POV, that drive home after straight up unaliving someone. That's what it says. Again, this is from last year, August 16, 2024. Somebody said that's from way before, but he's effing weird. Was he plotting? Somebody said, I honestly doubt it. I think these posts are more indicative of his general obsession with death and murder. Possibly. Again, I don't know. I didn't go and check that or anything further than just seeing it on Reddit. I wanted to bring it to y'all's attention. It's just a Reddit post. Take it with a grain of salt. Now we have a little bit of insight from a former crime scene investigator, or she might actually be a crime scene investigator. So I'm just going to let her tell y'all why she believes it's possible they haven't made arrests and what the cause of death and stuff like that. It's 1 minute 41 seconds. So listen to her.
So I am a crime scene investigator, and I'm going to talk about the difference between cause of death and manner of death. So in light of the current Celeste and David case that's circulating the internet, someone actually asked me, why has it not been ruled as a homicide yet? So I'm going to go into that. So I'm going to try to keep certain words out just for the sake of TikTok, banning me or flagging me. But manner of death is categories of death. So you have accidental, homicide, natural, undetermined, etc. And your cause of death is exactly what caused your death. So if it was an accidental death, it could have been a car accident. If it was a natural death, it could have been cancer. And in this case, she went down as undetermined because her body is too far in the decomposition process to know exactly what caused her death. This means that Dave...
Again, I said this earlier, how do we know for certain Celeste didn't trip down the stairs? and lose her life. And then, oops, got to do something with, like, how do we know she didn't unalive her own? How do we know she didn't end her own journey? How do we know, whatever? I mean, like, if they would have found her and immediately found, like, pew pew holes or something, maybe they could have said that was, how her cause of death. But this lady is saying, like, from a scientific perspective, it's difficult to determine because she's so far decomposed. However, I still think they are investigating this as a homicide because we've seen indications it's the homicide division that's doing the investigation. They kind of indicated they were investigating a homicide. But so there's a cause of death and then there's a manner of death. Manner of death would be like, okay, if you have a stroke or a heart attack, it's natural causes because you had a heart attack until the toxicology report comes back or whatever. But she's so far decomposed, and perhaps that's what the deal was. They were just wanting her to become decomposed. I don't know. It's all just questions for me. But let's listen a little further to what this expert says.
Determined because her body is too far in the decomposition process to know exactly what caused her death. This means that David technically cannot get charged with homicide at this point in time because her death went down as undetermined. That could mean that she could have died naturally or accidentally.
Not only can he not be arrested for homicide, no one can. They have to determine that she was homicided first, and they need proof of that. And I guess being chopped up in a trunk ain't good enough.
And maybe her body was moved after the fact, after death. So you can't determine the causes. So although she's considered undetermined, it is still pending, which is called deferred. Basically says it is undetermined until further notice because they're probably doing toxicology reports or other things that can probably aid in the help. But if not, it'll probably be ruled undetermined. And now she has been turned back over to her family so that she can have a proper funeral. And that is all the update that I have for you.
So I thought that was interesting. I thought that was an interesting tidbit of information. What did somebody say? Hold on. TMZ is getting ready to play a new David video. Are they live? Let me see. What does that mean? TMZ live. They are live. Let's see.
Singing, I'm not. Well, as you like to say, I'm not a performing circus animal for you. But I was, and you were happy. You didn't. Not only did you say, "Oh yeah, I'll sing," you brought props. I brought props. You like call that to your sister. Bring me over that fedora.
I got a fedora and a cigarette. And I'll sing my way. And I just got trashed by everybody. So the next day, Paul Anka calls.
This doesn't seem.
So the next day, Paul Anka calls. And I never talked to him in my life. And he said,
Okay, I don't think they're talking about it yet. So just keep me updated. Okay. So somebody mentioned something. I think it was Faisal mentioned earlier, like, wait, how do we know somebody else didn't just drop her right into that trunk and he was on tour? So here's the link that I was talking about there. This is a Reddit post from 4 hours ago. It says, anyone can open Tesla front trunks with no key. To access a 2023 Tesla Model Y front trunk without a key or with a dead battery, press the top right corner of the tow hook cover in the front left wheel until it pivots forward, then pull it out. So the front, anybody can open the front trunk, apparently. Look. Press the top right corner of the tow hook cover. It's in front of the left wheel in the front. Push it until it pivots forward and then pull it out. Pull the wires from the cavity and connect a low voltage power source, such as a 9-volt battery. Like, that's little. That's like what you would put in a smoke detector. Or jumper cables to the red, positive, and black negative terminals to release the latch. This video demonstrates how to open the front trunk without using a battery. So you don't even need a battery. Okay, someone's saying this is nothing. I'm going to downvote it because it is something. It is something. Because what did I say at the beginning of the video? How do we know for sure her body was in that car, in that trunk, when it was towed? Well, some neighbors are saying it smelled like sewage. Some neighbors are saying they didn't smell nothing. We know LAPD is wont to lose some evidence from time to time. They lose fingerprints from the Kid Cudi break-in that time. Somebody broke into his house. He thinks it was Diddy. They lost the fingerprints. They also lost the bullet fragments when Megan Thee Stallion got shot in the foot. So, I mean, girl, I don't know. I don't know what could have got put into a trunk in a tow lot in 2 days while David was out of the country. Or, excuse me, out of the state. Again, could have been him. All signs point to him, truly. Why does Harvey always look like he's looking down and can't raise his head up? Like his neck is stuck. Well, there's 2 possibilities. He's drunk or demons. I mean, that's the I don't know. I didn't do the blood alcohol analysis. They also lost the bullet casings from the ASAP Rocky case. Okay, I mean, we could go on. Thank you, Emerald. Thank you, Emerald. So I thought that was interesting to know, like, is it like earlier somebody said, I don't know if she's still in here, somebody said, if you mean possible in the sense that it wasn't impossible, yeah. It's not impossible that a body was put in the trunk at the tow yard. Well, this just actually made it more possible. The front trunk can be opened without a key. Good to know. Tesla maybe didn't. Two Frames Media said Tesla got the whole crime on camera. That's the crazy part. Maybe. They maybe did. But the way those Teslas look like they were sitting, first of all, was the battery charged? Second of all, was he paying for the service that collects that? Because here's the thing. Yes, we live in a surveillance state. And yes, they have the ability. Tesla, for example, has the ability to like take all the camera footage and save it if they want to. And I'm certain that they probably do. But it costs a lot of money to store electronic data, especially video, especially a bunch of different, like, think about how, like, you run out of room on the cloud, you got to pay more money. So is Tesla paying to store every single second of every single video from every single camera angle on every single Tesla at every single place in the world? I don't think so. They say they're not. I don't know. Sentry mode is not on if the car is dead. Monty says they're a Tesla owner. You could look at the Tesla GPS. That is stored. Okay, great. If not Tesla, Palantir got it for sure. For sure. Ugh, that disgusting organization. Anyway. Okay, so now I just want to take a look at the eerie Instagram itself. Let's see what they're doing over here. They talking about David or what?
This track and then tells me show up at Capitol Records on Friday night at 8 o'clock. And I show up and he says,
he's telling war story, girls. Telling war stories. And I just wanted to show y'all this. I mean, it's very, dark, it's like in and of itself, whatever, who cares? But then, now knowing what we know, it's just, why everything got to be so dark and dark? David, laboo me, please. No. He got the Dubai chocolate. He got the laboo. He dancing. August 21st. Who are these guys? Who are these guys? Look at the old Spice deodorant. Okay, so that's August 21st. They dancing around, these two. Goon Squad. Oh my God. It gives it a whole new meaning now, right? Goon Squad. Okay, here's a show The Caliucci Swan. This is September 1st. This show was in Texas, they saying, or here's some private jet. Who's that? Who's freaking that? I'm telling y'all, he did not do this all by himself. And if he did, other people at least know about it. They can't even rent their own damn apartments. He's got himself as an anime character. They look like they're about to go bury a body or just got done doing it. What's this? Okay. And then there's this one. Oh my God. 2 weeks ago, he posted this and said, I start media training tomorrow, guys. Wish me luck. And notably, the pink bracelets are not on his hand. I start media training tomorrow, guys. Wish me luck. 1 day later, car was towed. 2 days after that, body was found. 3 days after this post, the body was found. I start media training tomorrow, guys. Wish me luck. What the hell? They're putting mercury in this cat's brain, fluoride, Wi-Fi, Ritalin. Could it just be edgy, ironic, got too big for his britches? TMZ posted something 13 minutes ago. No. Was it an article or you mean a video? Looks like the most recent thing they put up was, oh yeah, they're basically just phishing social media. Private investigator shines. Yeah, he tracks down. So it's just the stuff we already read. So we had the news before them. No mention of an odor emanating from the car. Shout out to Tough Stino in the chat. I know he was in here earlier. Thank you so much, Sarah, for the $10 super chat. Thank you for being multi-talented. 2 American flags, the attitude to low intellect, and bringing brains receipts, frosted in humor and sarcasm. Thank you so much. Thank you for that. Thank you for that $10 super chat. Also, thank you so much for becoming a member. Thank you, JC, for the $1.99 super chat. I emailed you the Facebook stuff I found about her dad. Okay, I'll go take a look at it after the live. It looks like a temp tag. Okay, so maybe not an AKA, license plate. It looks like a temporary tag that was on the window. Okay, all right, interesting. Thank you for sharing that insight. Thank you for the $1.99 super chat. Media training. Wait, where did she say that? I lost it. Reese said, I just can't rule out the family involvement for some reason, even though it's just negligence. He is a known artist dating a minor. Too many people are involved to keep this from surfacing. Agreed. Shout out to Maggie, first time on the live. Oh man, this is a real fact. I recently purchased a new car and had to sign a paper saying that the black box records every detail. Girl, the black box, if you know, you know. They've been recording everything we've been saying for a long time. Anyway, location and actions can be used in court if subpoenaed. Well, I'm about to go get me about a 1994 F-150 whenever it's time for me to get a car. Something ain't clean in the buttermilk. What if it was a fan that watched their live streams? Shout out to Andy, Popcorn Planet, in the chat. 14-year-olds don't act like 19-year-olds. Yep. I know. Oh my God. Tough Stino did a reaction to the to the new rug. I don't know if y'all know this or not. No Jumper got a new rug, and I'm taking 100%. They redid their set. I'm taking 100% credit. Built Ford Tough. There it is. Hell yeah. Did they have matching pink bracelets? Well, either matching or he would wear hers or she would wear his, but it's gone. Dude, same. I want a 98 or 99 4Runner. I do. I want a 1997 F-250 crew cab dually That's what I want, but I can't drive. That's too much truck for me. I can't drive it, but I would like it. I don't see anything posted from TMZ though. What you trying to say? Like they posted something. Let me go to TMZ YouTube channel. Details on Diddy's release. Shocking development in David. Okay, so they posted that 18 minutes ago. It's 48 minutes long, so I'm going to have to... Somebody said something about media training, and I wanted to read it. Type it again if this sounds familiar. It was like, media training, that sounds like... And then the chat kept going, and I tried to scroll up. I know they say they demon possess, girl. Low vibrational Labubu. I don't know. I don't have no Labubus. I don't want one either. All right. So I guess that's all I really had for this one, y'all. I am going to... Oh, I love those Scions. Oh, I used to want one of those so bad when I was in high school. Shout out to you. That's all I have on this one. I need to do some pre-records. I need to do some other work today. So I am going to go, but I'll see y'all later. Thank you so much, Reese, for the $9.99 super sticker. Somebody said, I thought about it when BJ said, get an old car. Yep. They want us to think we're safe while violating our civil rights. Black box going to have to try. They're going to have to pry my info out of my do not consent fingers. All right. Could he be arrested for kidnapping? I really do not know. I don't want to really speculate about, criminal activities, but I'm very surprised that he hasn't at least been named as a person of interest. That's what I will say. That's all I really had for this one. In the meantime, facts ain't defamation. Neither are opinions. See you soon. Love you, mean it. Okay, bye.